We're off. Welcome back to the latest session of Red Skies. Let's see. We're, kind of moving into sort of the meat of the campaign here as we kind of move forward a little bit. As you guys have already know, and we'll kind of recap here a little bit, you guys all started off kind of disparate peoples, kind of doing your own sort of things, but came together on the Maiden's Folly as you were all drawn towards the west for various reasons. Some of you just for work, some of you to find people, some of you to find ruins. The Maidens, so you were all got on the Maiden's Folly at some point as it was heading its way from Caer Mirgal to Emerdal. After going through the islands of the Faran Islands, you guys headed further west and got caught in a squall where you were attacked by creatures that you were able to drive off, but not before you guys got a little too close to an uncharted island and the reefs that are around it where your ship crashed against it. Having spent some time, at least some of you spent some time on the sea or near it, you were able to get yourselves up on top of some of the rocks that were there, and the next day, create some small, semi-sturdy rafts that got you to the island. Over the course of the next week or so, you guys found a pirate cove beneath a ruined tower, learned that there were two different natives on the island, one Kalion, one Naga. Got caught up in their politics as the Naga had kidnapped your captain and was going to sacrifice her for who knows what, which eventually you did figure out what was for. As you went through a ziggurat to try to get in and free her, you came upon a ritual to open a gate where she sacrificed herself to get rid of the shaman, and then you guys closed the portal, which was leaking some form of strange tentacled eye monster. Having completed that, you spent a little bit of time exploring the island a little bit more, got some of the Kalion back from who had gotten lost, and then came back to find the pirates had returned. Feeling that surrender was the better part of valor here, you guys surrendered to them, were press ganged onto their ship, and over the course of the next week, actually sailed all the way to the Galenvir Cays, where the captain met with somebody you don't know or did something. He went to an island, and it sounded like he was meeting with somebody. But during that time, one of the crew members was killed, and the blame was thrust upon your former crewmate, Sand. You spent some time figuring out exactly who did the murder, found the right person.
I'm back.
That person got keel-hauled, and you guys continued on to the north, where you guys attacked the Sea Spray. Taking over the Sea Spray, Mad Dog, the captain of the Argent, or of the Defiant, sorry, sent you guys with his boatswain as the interim captain to take the ship to be refitted at Flotsam. Scabs directed you guys to go through a little known gap in the wall, but before you got there, you overheard them talking about getting rid of you, and so you guys performed a mutiny. A mutiny over several hours. It's the longest mutiny I've ever seen in my life, but it was successful, and you now have Scabs and his men in the hold of the ship, or in the bilges of the ship, locked down there, and had turned back towards the Faran Islands, where Blinby, one of the people who you were allied with, had said she was owed a favor and probably could get the ship fixed for you. So given that, you guys had sailed towards North Faran, where you were headed to the Tyrok's landing, and as you got there, as you were closing in on it, you saw that there was a naval ship already docked or was already docked at the docks. And that's where we kind of left off. That's kind of really succinctly what's happened over the last 20 some odd sessions. So let me bring up this for you guys. So you guys have come into this bay here. you'll note here on this thing, this is now a ship right here that you guys should have ownership over. So any of you can actually move it on this map. As of right now, that's where you're at. This right here represents the naval ship that's docked at Tyrok's Landing here. You're not sure if they've noticed you or not yet. You're not even sure if you should even be worried about that. However, you are on kind of a stolen ship. So, what do you guys want to do?
Did we get a long rest? Did you mention that?
I
don't have a
yes.
reported,
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I believe you did because you guys had finished the mutiny on the morning of the 27th, and this is now the morning of the 28th. So,
do we know kind of what port the ship comes from, just in case we want to avoid
the ship
the
you're
one
on?
that's stolen? Yeah. In case it gets recognized.
Give me all of you can do this. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, wow. Starting already. That was on a D8. I rolled a 7 on a D8.
Should we, I missed the long rest question, but I think you said no, right?
No, you can have a rest. It is the next day after the mutiny, so.
I do need my HP.
All right, so now everybody's getting rid of their intelligence checks. All right,
sorry.
12, 14, 12, 6, 7. Okay.
Rhux's brain is massive.
You're yeah, okay.
Did mine register? I don't see mine up there.
I do not see yours.
Okay, hang on.
Right,
there it is.
Ooh, let's hope it's that 18.
Right. Her brain is bigger than mine.
It is. Note, I have not had a chance to convert us over to the new stuff, so you're still having double things. I had to basically do 2 complete preparations for 2 complete different places this week, so it was fun. Rhux and Dresd'a, you recognize the design of this ship as a Solari merchant ship. So most likely, it's probably from Milisari or one of the Solari city-states is where it originally came out of. But that's the design.
So I'll convey this knowledge to the rest of the team.
Just so everybody has this, I will activate this real quick. Solari city-states, you guys are basically right here at this point. Oops. Right here at this point. You can see that on this map. I'll click on it so you can get a better idea. So right here is where you guys are at currently. The Solari city-states are up here in the Solari Isles. Where you guys were thinking you wanted to go was, or at least at some point, some of you were trying to get to Emerdal, which is here. Some of you were trying to get to Calastria, which is here. Others of you don't really care where you go. That's from what I understand. All right. I will also bring up this map real quick, just for you guys to look at real quick. I have also modified this map now so that if we're on it for kind of overland travel, again, the ship has a grid. You guys can move it. And it is the same ship. At some point, there will be actions on it, like there is. The action hub will work. The ship actually will have actions on it. I'm just not sure why they're not showing up. As it is, you guys are just outside of Tyrok's Landing. The scale here is each square is half a mile. I think it's half a mile. Wait a second. No, the square is 1 mile, I think. Yes, 1 mile. This also means, because I have a grid and things like that with stuff on it, you can actually use the measuring tool and it will actually measure.
Oh.
Well, I just don't think that they, nobody got away. So nobody would have reported that this ship is stolen. I mean, we might look a little suspicious, but there's no way for them to know that we are.
Well, if we dock in a familiar port like the Solari states,
well, yeah, you're right.
Might be former crew members, or even the people that built the ship, or relatives of the owner, or maybe it's owned by somebody and sailed by somebody else.
Linby says, you may be right, but at the same time, we took over that ship in the northern part of the Ferran Sea. It was probably due into one of the Solari city-states no later than today or the next. Or remember, we did this 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 days ago. So it's very possible that word has gone out that it has gone missing.
Yeah. So we'll want to be careful in that area.
And just for your guys' edification, this is a magical world. There is such things as sendings and stuff like that. You're in the portion of the world where there's a lot more wizards and sorcerers and stuff like that. So it's very possible, given the current state of the Sea of Tears, where the pirate activity is much higher, the Morgale Navy is trying to prevent it, that news would get around much faster than it would normally.
Can we repaint the name of the ship or something like that?
Well, that's ostensibly what you're trying to do to get to Syrax Landing for.
Did the ship have a flag? Does it still have a flag remaining that you can fly like we're not under pirate colors? Or
well, no, I mean sure, you don't have a pirate. You don't have a pirate flag on there anyway. But
do we have any?
You're currently 3 miles out. You guys noticed the thing because you're coming into port, being somewhat careful. You happen to see it through the spyglass. You're not sure that they've seen you yet. So as of right now, you believe you're okay. That's, I guess, the way to put it.
Can we sail down to that sort of bay that's directly south of us and sort of hide out there?
You want to try to get to here? Based on what you can see, there's not a lot of places to hide. It's a pretty open area. This portion of here is sort of cliff-like. It's hard to make these cliffs because it's all set for south side kind of things. But there are cliffs here. But you don't notice anything in here that looks like you could technically hide. You could go into here, but anybody that's coming out of the bay here would probably, or the harbor bay, whatever you want to call it, would probably see you in there. It's not like your ship is super small.
But maybe up here to the north, or wherever.
Marcus, you notice Blimby is kind of moving back and forth between her, kind of not really wringing her hands, but
Somebody, do you know anything that could help us out here?
there is a spot further to the south. We have to get through the reefs, but if we do, there's a cove we used to use that was smugglers. It was used by the smugglers. Don't know. It's been 5 years since I've been here, so I don't know if it's in use still or not. But given the state of the smuggling around here when I left, it seems unlikely. But from there, we could then take a rowboat and get to land. Up to you guys, though.
That might be our best option. I mean, are the reefs,
I like that.
Could our current crew do it without running up aground? How hard is it to get in? Is it?
It's not trivial, but I mean, you guys have enough crew to run the ship, so you're not exactly.
But I mean, like a river pilot or something where.
No, I mean it's still decent water. It's just that there's a reef. So what she's talking about, when you kind of look at what she's talking about, is right over here. You have to come around here, come through this. This is a reef here, and there's a cove in here. So you could also try to go north and get to the north side up here. There's a bunch of islands up here that are relatively small. It's really up to you guys.
Are we overthinking this? I mean, we did rescue. We liberated the ship from the pirates.
Do we have the papers?
Well,
no, technically you don't. The papers were taken.
Unfortunate.
Okay, so yeah, we definitely need to hide then.
The papers were definitely taken by Mad Dog because there was no reason to keep them. They were going to refit the ship and rename it and all that sort of stuff. So as of right now, there's no indicator that you guys own this ship. There's no even indicator of who owns this ship at this point.
Are you referring to the papers that were found behind the wall, Robert?
No, he's talking about like the writ of ownership.
Yeah.
There is such a thing that usually has to go with the ship.
Yeah, I think my vote would be to the cove to the south where we know the smugglers, and they probably won't ask as many questions, and we mind our own business, that we'll stay out of trouble.
Sounds good to me. Let's go down there.
All right. So you guys head south, or head a wreck around, and head south down to here, over the land. It seems like. As you get close, you can see. Well, as you get to here, you can see definitely a treacherous kind of passage over here. Lots of rocks, cliff sides. It's definitely, I don't know. Think of it as you can see lots of reef activity, lots of rocks. It looks like almost as if a portion of this island just fell away into the sea, and that's just like rocks everywhere along the thing. But there are some spots where you feel you could get the ship through into there, and it's pretty obvious as you get. I mean, it's not hard to get to here. It's pretty obvious when you get to there that you can see that there is a small being relatively sized, but there is a cave here that you think you could fit the ship into. It'd be a tight fit, but you could do it. Think of it as the Goonies. Anyway,
Nice.
In some sense, not exactly that, but
Goonie reference. Always
however,
good.
to get through that reef, you're going to have to give me somebody is going to have to give me a water vehicles check.
I have some points in that.
Well, I think that's we give him the assistant app option by I'll be watching and hey, there's a reef to your left, reef to your right type thing.
I have 10 points in that. What does that give me?
That doesn't give you anything. You have
Man.
if you have water vehicles as a tool proficiency, that helps.
Does anyone have that? I don't think anyone has that.
We have determined that people who have vehicle have water vehicles at this point.
Yeah. Rhux does.
This would require an intelligence water vehicles check.
So I have vehicles proficiency.
And in
Okay.
essence, you're navigating through the stuff and you're trying to do
So
it via...
intelligence plus proficiency.
Yep.
And
And
Here's
you
my
have
water
advantage
vehicles
because
check.
somebody is helping you.
So 19 plus something.
Oh, that works.
I didn't help.
Rhux was going first. All right, so you guys make it through there with Marcus calling out and everybody else kind of keeping watch. It gets pretty damn narrow.
Starboard!
It gets pretty damn narrow. And you hear a as you go along through it, but it's just as if you hit like a very top of it. Nothing major. A slight bump, that sort of stuff. And you make it to the cove, and looking inside the cove, you can see it's a relatively large, about 50 foot tall or so, kind of cleft into the cliffs here, where the water kind of goes in and it stays relatively deep here. You can see as you're kind of coming up and towards it, you can see that there doesn't, like, if this was used as smuggling, it hasn't been used in months, if not years, because basically you don't see any evidence of anybody using this as anything. And it takes a little bit more time. You're able to get in into there by about a little before midday. You're all anchored in and ready to go. What do you guys want to do
Well
now?
done. Well, can we go in the cave? No really need for camouflage.
Well, so it's
right?
not really a cave as much as it's like a cleft. So there's still sky over top. You're just this thing kind of goes in, so you're kind of hidden somewhat from a bunch of angles because of the way the cleft is. But if somebody were to come over the top and look down, they would totally see you. But from the sea, it's a lot harder to see you. A, and B, it's hard to get to you because of all the rocks.
So maybe we need to trek overland to the port over there and scope out the situation and see what we need to do to get rid of these, turn these people, the pirates, in for bounty, and keep an eye on the Navy.
Yeah, Limby's like, yeah, I'm going to head in and talk with my friend and see what we can do to get the ship a little less hot. Like, he will be able to get us some papers, and potentially do some repairs. I could probably get him to get us the papers, but probably not get him to pay to just repair it for the favor he owes me.
Okay. You want us to accompany you with that? We can take one of the rowboats if we'd rather by sea.
Well, so you'll have to do. You can do a rowboat to here. This is like this right here is a beach, which you can easily see. It's less than a mile away.
Okay.
It's like it's about a mile and a half or so from where you're at, but you can see it. It goes out into a small beach here, which then rises back up into cliffs and stuff like that. So you can get through here and get up. I mean, it's going to be obvious there's a road up here once you get up there, but you can get up to the road and follow the road up to the thing.
Would your contact be okay with company, or do you need to go by yourself? I wouldn't mind some stretching my legs and getting some land time, but we could always just explore around if you've got to make contact by yourself right now.
She's like, well, you can come. It's up to you guys. You could all come if you'd like. I just only want to have. I think only one or two people would want to be with him. He'll be a little skittish about this. What we're talking about here is not exactly legal. So the less
I have
people,
no issues with that.
The less people that he speaks with, the better. But that doesn't mean you can't have come. Some people come. Yes, one or two of you would be fine. Based on where you're at and how long it's going to take you to get certain places, it's going to take you the rest of the day to get into Tyrok's Landing. So by foot. So do you all want to go? If so, who's looking after the ship? Like, True will volunteer to stay back at the ship, so will Rat. But, you've also still got the 6 prisoners that are in the 7 prisoners because you kept
staying back to watch those guys.
You've got the 2 other guys that you're like, hey, we'll let you off as soon as we get somewhere. Are you going to let them off and take them to Tyrok's? What are you going to do with them?
Right, yeah.
So,
who was the ship that we identified again? Who do we identify them again as?
Identify who as? Sorry.
This ship.
That's the Mergale Navy. You're not sure exactly what ship it is, but it's the Navy.
Gotcha. Okay. But I should be mostly safe from them, right?
You should be. Yeah, the Mergale aren't after you, as far as you know.
Okay, cool.
Plus, remember, you guys, you've been literally off the grid.
True.
For like a month. So,
yeah.
It's been a while.
I definitely would like to go ashore.
I wouldn't mind coming if that's all right.
It's up to you guys. Linby needs to get there so she can start setting up arrangements. It's up to you guys.
Just remember that what we're doing, as far as may not be sneaky. Okay, well, as long as you don't have any moral compulsions.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll come.
I'm trying to get this to be our ship. I'd love to get this to be our ship.
Okay. Excellent.
It's all good.
All right. As far as the 2 people that we want to off, we probably should, when we actually go into port, we can let them off. I don't.
You can take your prisoners with you if you'd like, if you want. You don't have to leave them there. It's up to you.
It'd probably be easier for us to leave them on ship. We can watch them eat better that way, as long as we have enough people staying behind to guard them.
Well, as of right now, True and Rat will stay behind. That's 2 people.
Yeah, we need more than that.
I'm going to stay behind.
All right. So
and Cole's.
Aaron's going to stay behind. So
Aaron's staying behind.
You have the 2 guys that participated in the mutiny on the other side, but you thought were doing it unwillingly. Well, one didn't participate at all because he was pretty much asleep the whole time. But the other one did, but you didn't knock him out. Those 2 guys have been a functioning crew member for the past day, but it's up to you guys whether or not you trust to leave them behind with, True, Rat, and Aaron.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Why don't we
remember? They were also former crew members of the Sea Spray. So another thing you might want to.
Yeah, they might want to
count there.
Get a reward for turning it into. Yeah,
that is also a fair point.
Very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Lots of conundrums here.
So we kill them, and then it's not that type of game.
It is that kind of game.
Whatever game you want it to be, my friend.
No,
it is a pirate game.
But we kept the prisoners of the people who we should have killed. former pirates would probably be
Okay, well,
pirates.
who's staying behind besides Aaron? Anybody
Okay.
else?
I
Right,
can
true.
stay behind if no one else is going to stay
Blimby
behind.
can't because she's the one that's got to
Right.
talk with the person.
Rhux will stay with the ship.
Okay.
I'll stay with the ship too then. That's
Is Hylough
No. You can
coming?
go on. You're a better talker. I'll stay with the ship.
All right, so
Okay.
Hylough, Rhux, Aaron, Blimby, True, and Rat are going to stay back at the ship. So those 5. Are you going to take the 2 not people you're not necessarily sure about, or are you going to leave them at the ship?
I say we leave them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
We
fine.
could, why don't we take some of the? Why don't y'all take some of the prisoners? I mean, how hard would that be? I mean,
Why would we take the prisoners with us? That would make no sense.
That would make things
Can't we get their
kind of
bounties?
hard.
Yeah, that's how you can get the
Well-
bounties.
Well, yeah.
but and I guess we should ask Blimby. Are they going to be anywhere where they can try to escape? Or
Someone
if they go into
backing up a
town-
truck.
She's like, well, I believe there's a garrison in Tyrok's Landing. So, I'm sure they have.
Maybe we should just take them first then.
But
Okay,
But she says, at the same time, she says, but it might be odd to bring pirates along the road into town. Wouldn't you just bring them into the docks?
Yeah.
Also valid. Okay. Kat, what are you doing? Is it Dresd'a?
But we
Can't
could
remember
just
the
take 1 or
character.
2 of them and say we caught them in along the shore where they must have crashed, and recognize them as the pirates they are, and we're bringing them in.
See what type of reception they get.
Mhm.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Let's do the. Do we have the guy who's mute?
Yeah.
Let's use him.
All right.
Oh,
Let's
no.
someone who can talk his way out.
No. You're
half-orc.
using the disabled person.
Yeah, the
No.
half orc.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get some capital.
And who is another person who is not
It would be
well
Track.
spoken? Okay, Track.
No, Track is the mute guy. Everybody else could talk.
Well, who was
Scabs.
Who doesn't have a great
Khan was
charisma?
not exactly the brightest bulb.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think we should do those.
All right.
Two.
Oh, we can always cut out their tongues.
Well, it doesn't really
Even the
help
mute
if they're
guy,
mute.
it's just
Wow, these are
mean.
some pretty murder.
I mean, then they
hobos.
won't talk.
He's mute.
He's already
No, I'm
mute.
talking about the
No,
guy
he's
that's
talking about the
I'm
other
talking about the guy that talks.
Like, yes,
that
let's
was
just mutilate
that
some of
was
these guys.
me
That way
as
they
a,
can't.
Yeah,
but
they
they
person
can't
thinking
cut out the
about
tongues of the rest of them. Why would you cut out the tongue of the mute guy?
You guys.
That-
No, we don't even
So
know.
he
He
can't
might be
taste.
the mute
Like I
guy
said,
might
it's
be
just
missing his
me.
tongue. To be honest, we don't know.
Okay. Huh?
Well, we need to make sure we have enough strength if we got to guard people here, and you've got to guard people on the road.
So you got
Right.
Marcus, you got Praedyth, you got Iylis, you got Dresd'a going to the, and Blimby going to the
Yeah, I
thing.
say we could
And you
definitely
want to
take
take
it.
Track,
two.
Track and Khan.
Yeah,
Kat, are you?
but we
going
need
or not
we
going?
need to get some money.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
okay. I just want to make sure
money.
that. I mean, I think that.
Well,
Between-
the other thing is if we take some of them now, and then bring more people later, does that look sus?
Oh,
Well, we can
We can
come
always-
back. It's not like we have to immediately go. We can sail out for a little bit.
Well,
and
no,
come
but like
back.
if
Well,
they,
okay. Here's the deal. Half of us are going.
hold
The
on.
other
Here's
half
the
could
last.
go.
Here's the last little thing to listen to take into account here. You're only going to be able to fit 5 people in the rowboat. You have 2 rowboats, but you can only fit 5 people in a rowboat.
we could take 10 people technically.
Yeah, you
Although
could do
that
10 if you
leaves-
did both rowboats, which is
Oh, we
almost
could
the
have-
entire crew, which is almost everybody. But
Well, we still need to hire if we're gonna do this ship. We still need to hire a new crew.
And we need to leave a rowboat for them. So a couple of rowboat people to ferry us over, then take this rowboat back to our ship. What is my thought? Because we don't want to leave them without a rowboat. So it's going to be several trips. How long will it take? I mean, it's just a short distance, right?
well, it's about 1.5 miles. It's about 2 miles. So
Oh,
to
so
do
it's a
that
pretty
via
good haul.
rowboat, it's going to probably take about an hour, hour and a half, and then to get to Tyrok is probably going to take the rest of the day. Like you guys are going to get there at dark and probably not be back until the next day,
Maybe we should just wait until morning.
which you can also do.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Well, why don't we just have Blimby go over now, set up her things, and then we can go over in the morning if we want.
Okay, I was just gonna go because I want to get off the boat.
Yeah, like you can go with her too as well, but like, why don't we save the main party for like in the morning?
I'm also okay with that. Okay, so Marcus is gonna go.
All right, so Marcus and Blimby are getting off the ship via a rowboat. Somebody going to go with them and then bring the rowboat back.
I will do that.
Yeah, somebody should go with them.
Okay.
Bring the rowboat back.
I will do that.
Okay, so time starts. Marcus, Blimby, and Aaron, you guys kind of lower the rowboat over the side. As you're doing that, True is kind of looking out over the thing. You can see also to the far west, there's a really ominous set of clouds low on the horizon. Iylis, you're starting to get that feeling in your bones again. Definitely a storm's coming in, but it feels off.
Coming.
But it feels off. Like it feels like it's slow moving.
Right.
So maybe it's just starting to build, so you feel like it might not make it here until tomorrow morning or the next day, or later the next day. That's the way you're feeling about it, even though you can see it. One thing to remind you guys of in this game world, you can see storm buildups like that are almost 250 miles away, unlike planet Earth, because it's flat.
I was like, we're on flat Earth?
Mm-hmm.
It's, as far as you can tell, it's flat.
Disc world.
So you can see storms building up from quite a ways away, and sometimes you see them, like really nasty ones you can see build up, and then they don't show up for 2 days, but you can see them getting closer and closer and closer.
So is that a storm? Are we gonna have, does it look bad, like if we're anchored, it's may take us out of the anchor? It's worse to be in port or worse to be at sea?
I mean, given the cleft you're in, you're probably well protected, actually.
Okay.
Depending, unless the wind's coming directly down this cleft, you're pretty well protected.
Okay.
All right. So you guys get on the ship, or on the rowboat. Aaron rows you out. About an hour or so later, you guys are left on a relatively flat beach that kind of gently slopes up. Well, not gently. It kind of, there's a path. There's not a path, but there's a hill that you can walk up to get up to the top of the cliff from here. And you and Blimby's like, all right, let's go. It's gonna take us a little bit of time to get to where we need to go. And she starts hoofing it, and starts heading this way. Now, I'm gonna do the following. The nice part about this particular thing is that I can drop you onto here, and Marcus Teach can be a guy on the thing. So,
my guy.
Yeah, you're freaking huge, but but you can actually be on here. So, you guys start walking. And so far, there's not. You can move your guy too as time moves on. Over the course of the next couple of hours, I just did something that I did not mean to do. Over the course of the next couple of hours, you really see nobody on this road. Like, it's pretty desolate. I mean, you're walking through sort of a dryish grass, yellowish green kind of grassland with some gentle hills. You can see off to the left, as you're kind of to the west as you're coming up, you can see the cliffs kind of turn into some more steep hills, but nothing terribly steep. Jungle to your right looks somewhat, it's a little thick, but not nearly as thick as the jungle was on the small island you guys were on. Clearly somewhat decent, but after a couple more hours, you guys get up to about here, and that's when you start to sort of really start to notice civilization. As you're coming around there, you can see like plinths and stuff like that that clearly mark where somebody owns land. And the road itself, it does look like it's used occasionally. Like, it is an actual road. It's not like a muddy track or anything like that. It's an actual road. It's just not super well used. You're just not seeing anybody on it. But as you get up into here, you're starting to see more evidence of, farmland. Not farmland. Well, actually, that's not true. Here, you actually do start to see some farmland. You notice some farms that have some really spiky, strange-looking rows of these spiky-looking plants that are just starting to come out of the ground. I'm not sure exactly what the heck those are. Although Maybe you would. Well, you've never grown them, so you're not sure exactly what they are. And you continue along the road, and eventually you start seeing some pasture land, and you see goats and sheep. And by about sundown, you reach a bridge heading over to Tyrok's Landing. I'm going to come back to you. For those of you on the ship, is there anything you're doing this day?
Keeping everything orderly.
All right, so you guys
making
are just,
sure no prisoners escape.
right. Somebody, I assume, make some food.
Yeah.
All right, you guys check in the prisoners every so often. I do have a thing there for that. All right. Everything seems to be okay. I guess I shouldn't be on as Marcus when I make the roll like that. Everything seems to be okay. As the day goes on, you guys seem to be all right.
Keep an eye on the two other crew members. Anything suspicious or anything like that?
Give me a perception check, since you're kind of watching them. They seem to be going about doing their duties like you guys have asked them to. No one seems to be doing anything untowards.
Not sneaking off, going to the.
No one seems to be sneaking off.
The Raven's gonna be paying attention to them.
Okay, so the Raven's
just
perched up on top and is just watching them.
Yeah,
right.
Until we trust them, because he doesn't have to sleep, so we can watch them all the time.
All right, so back to Marcus. I'm going to activate this, which is Tyrok's Landing. Now, again, you're all in here because I assumed you might all come, but you're not all coming. It's just Blinby here and Marcus. So the rest of you just hang tight.
Blimby, do I need to know anything here? I'll just stay in the background?
We're almost there. This is
Tyrok's.
Tyrok's.
Your friend.
No, we're almost there. This is Tyrok's. We just need to get up towards the. She kind of points over the way. You can see the docks and things like that from this map. You can actually see the docks over here. That did not do what I wanted to do. You can sort of see the docks. You can actually, at this point in time, you can see. In this fading sunlight, you can see the naval ship that is docked over here on the docks. I was going to keep on wanting to say parked, but it's not. And she kind of points at this long kind of pier here that you realize is not so much as a pier as it's going into the water, like it disappears underwater. And she says, "Those are the dry docks of my friend Zior. Sorry, man, I cannot pronounce my own guys' names. Zior will." We'll ask him about what's going on with the Navy, and then we'll get him to. I will bring up my need for help, and we'll see if he is able to help us.
Sounds great. We're indebted to you for this. It look like the ship would go up on the dock that goes into the water?
Yeah, it's like a dry dock, like you would pull it up.
Pull it up on it. Okay.
Yeah, if they need to fix it, if they need to do that to fix things, that's what they would do. But otherwise, there's another smaller dock here that's relatively close that they could just do. They would dock you up against it and start doing some stuff with it. At this point in time, there's a whole bunch of fishing boats that are coming, sailing boats and fishermen boats that are coming back in after the evening's catch. So you're starting to see a lot of activity even from this distance. This is only about, let's see here. It is only about. Cannot read that because it's too small. It's only about 500 feet, 600 feet away. So, you can see the activity of people on there. It's only a couple football fields away. So, as they start to pull out the catch from the day and that's from the evening and that sort of stuff. Blinby continues and takes you across the bridge.
This is an old friend. Do you know them socially as well? Should we bring them food, a gift of some type?
Old friend, maybe not exactly an old friend.
Okay.
A person I used to work with. It's the right way to put it.
So it's okay. So
who owes me some? Who owes me one?
Well, so he may not be as happy to see you then. Okay.
It's possible he will not be happy to see me. That is correct. Okay. You should move yourself while you're going through here. Blinby has already gotten you guys up to the bridge. She kind of points over to the right and she says, "Sawmill. If it's still being run by the Gotch family. We might be able to get some help from them. If not, then we'll stay away from them. She also points over to this building here, and she says, "That's the Cooper and the Cooper Wainwright. He helped because of all the wood that comes in here."
Right.
She's pointing that out. But we want to get over to the as you guys come up into town. There actually is a bit more people here. You can see a few as you've gotten this close. There's been a couple farmers that have come in on wagons that have in fact, you probably got a wagon up to a certain point because the farmer was nice enough. And it's like, "Oh, you're headed to Tyrok. So come on, I'll give you a lift." And he got you probably to the bridge when he basically, like, when Blimby said, "No, this is far enough. We'll walk the rest of the way in. I need to tell my friend here about the place." And how she
My first time here. Very neighborly of you. Thank you for the ride.
And so he kind of went in. So you're seeing a few people here along the road now. The village is, excuse me, not a village. This town itself is probably around, and the surrounding area is about 500, 600 people. So it's not small, but it's still rather backwater in some sense. Blindy gets up to here and she's like, "All right, we're going to head over. We're going to see ZR. Do you want to come with me, or would you rather meet me at the Thirsty Barnacle afterwards?"
Why don't I, if you don't mind me tagging along, why don't I
that's
tag
fine.
along?
That's just fine. And she starts heading up in.
I'll head to the.
Did you actually come with him,
barnacle? Yeah, you know what? I'll come with.
All right. That's fine. There is room in the thing. So you're on here. Just the Thirsty Barnacle, she points out, is this building here.
Got it.
She says, "Go towards the docks. You'll hear the rabble rousing as you get close enough."
Rabble rousing.
All right. So, Iylis, you're on the map. Oops. So you might want to move yourself to.
I am?
Yep, you are. You're just at the very bottom.
Oh, come on.
Everybody's on the map. With these maps, since I'm putting in,
I'm coming.
since I'm putting in grids and stuff to allow you to make measurements and things of that nature, I'm actually putting you on the map if it makes sense. So like this allows you guys to be at different places and you know where you're at. So yeah, she points out that this is where the Thirsty Barnacle will be here at the end of the near the docks. Just go. They'll meet you there afterwards. She's like, "It probably won't be more than an hour, but do be a little careful. It's kind of a dive bar. It's on the docks, you know."
Fitting perfectly. Finally.
Do barnacles get thirsty?
You don't know. That's
Yeah.
So,
If they're out of water.
Iylis, you can start to cut up this road, and I will get back to you in a minute because there's a few things you'll see on the way.
Oh, okay.
You guys head into the shipwright, and it's very clear as you're getting closer and closer to it. Like it's a big, huge kind of warehouse where you can hear some banging. You're not sure if there's a ship inside or not, but you can clearly hear some work going on even at this hour. Blimby goes up to the door here in the actual to the side of this, and she shouts out. She shouts, "Zior! Zior! Eeyore! This is me, Blimby. I'm back." And you hear a clap, clap, and then you hear the thing come out in the door, and a 30-something diary man comes out, and he kind of looks, and he's got a kind of a scowl on his face. You can see behind him, you can see maybe just about a preteen boy kind of standing back behind him, and he looks out at Blimby and he's like, "Huh, you've got some nerve showing your face around here again." Blimby's like, yeah, you got me. I know things didn't end the way they were supposed to, but I need your help on something, and you owe me the favor. He's like, "I don't owe you anything. I'm the one that got you out of here the last time in the first place. That was the favor." It's like, but I didn't turn you in.
Okay, I see how this is working.
And he's like, he spits on the ground. He's like, "Who's your friend?" She says, "This is Marcus. He
I'm a crewmate.
He helped me get away from It's a bad situation. And he's like, seems like that you need that help all the time.
Well, not only that, but I mean, it also is lucky that she's always getting out of these situations. Everyone has problems. The people who get out of them are the ones you really want to know.
He's like,
smiling disarmingly.
Go in and see her. Go get washed up for dinner. I'll be in 15, 20 minutes. Tell your mother.
This is impressive. Is this all yours?
Yes. You can see inside that they're actually working on what looked to be a small sailboat. As you can sort of see through the door. So most of the warehouse is currently empty. But you can see that the sort of the thing kind of pulls the runner here kind of pulls up into the warehouse, and you can clearly see that they've got like logs and stuff to pull things up in and work on, potentially even build a ship in here. You could probably build, like, the sea spray could probably just barely fit in here. So you're not going to make a huge ship out of here. But given where this place is, it's kind of on the western edge of the Mergale holdings. You think he probably would make decent business with a thing of this size, because people can get out here and get their ship fixed all the way out here before especially if they're running into choppy weather or something that gets some repairs that they need from this guy. So he's probably doing okay. He's like, Blinbean, your friend, come in, let's talk. And he heads into the building. Marcus, we'll get back to you. Iylis, you're heading down the main thoroughfare.
Heading down the court.
The first building you come on past this farm here, and this is clearly a farm, is sort of a ramshackle, rundown building. There's a sort of a tilted off sign off the top of it that shows a bed over top of some wavy lines. You're not sure, like bed water, or you're not sure what.
Yo, they got water beds here.
You're not sure what it means, but looking at it, you don't see any light in the building as the light as the dark is coming down. It looks like it's like probably abandoned or something like that. Given the holes you can see in some of the roofs and stuff, like in the roof in a few places, definitely would not be a place you'd want to stay. But it's a lot that the first building you come into is so in such disrepair. Continuing on though, you pass a couple of buildings that are actually in okay repair. You can see a few lights in there. Look more like these are like residents. Maybe some farmers. Like this guy might be a farmer here. You
do have a big field.
Workers, maybe they're fishermen, maybe they're dock workers, but it looks pretty normal. Coming around the corner, again, you're coming through a few places, and here, again, residential stuff, until you get to here where you find what looks to be a bunch of market stalls that are all closed out. So this is probably where the fish market or something like that would normally be. But even here, you're already starting to hear the sound of laughter and a little bit of music coming from ahead. And it doesn't take you very much longer to get to here, which is the Thirsty Barnacle. Heading inside the Thirsty Barnacle, Blinby undersold you in the sense that this makes a dive bar look great.
Man,
it's a tightly packed main tavern room, common room, with basically almost no room between the various chairs against any tables and things like that. You can see a couple of women kind of moving through the crowded. There is a crowd in here already at this point. Slapping hands as they're jostling as they're trying to get through, carrying steins of what you assume is it's ale or beer. There is I gotta find the guy's description. There is a Thirsty Barnacle. A thin, swarthy man. Not swarmy. Swarthy. A thin, smarmy man. No, a thin, swarthy man. Standing behind the bar, but he kind of looks like he's like leaning more towards his left than his right, so he's not standing up exactly straight. And he kind of nods as you kind of walk in the door. Kind of gives you a quizzical look, like a little bit of look, but nods. He's kind of, and then he hears a shout. Malin, I need another ale. And he's like, shut your trap, it's coming. And he turns to
Yeah,
a
need
barrel
another
behind,
ale.
and he starts pouring some ale into the thing.
Let's go.
And you walk into this cacophony of people. There is somebody playing music in here somewhere, but there's so many people in here, it's hard to see where it's coming from.
It's coming from
you
the
would
speakers.
guess that this is probably about 30 people in this, well, maybe 20 people in about a 30-foot by 20-foot room. It's packed. Most of them are clearly dock workers or sailors. You can see a couple of them are wearing the typical sailor outfit of the Mergale Navy, which is which is a sort of a brownish leather color with a deep blue trim.
Nice.
Very clearly from the Mergale Navy. You can also see what looks to be a guy wearing more of the officer kind of stuff of the Mergale Navy, sitting at a table in one of the corners, in one of the spots with a couple of those men. They seem to be playing a dice game of some sort. This is what you see as you kind of walk in.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go grab my ale for sure. Go talk to.
You head up to the bar, and Malin kind of looks you over. Clearly, this is Malin. Kind of looks you over and says, "What do you have? I've got a light ale, a dark ale, and a stout."
I'll take the dark ale.
All right, come on up.
See how that goes.
Marissa, order up. And he kind of puts a thing over with a couple of drinks on it. One of them is clearly the light ale. The other one is a smaller glass with a brownish amber liquid in it. Clearly not a beer or an ale of any sort. And one of the ladies comes up, and as she's getting close, she's like, "Ow, stop pinching. Next time you do it, I'm going to take that thumb." And grabs the thing and starts heading into the crowd. Malin drops. As you're kind of watching that happen, you hear a thump as a glass lands next to you, and inside you can see a darkish amber colored beer of some sort with a decent head on it. Trying it though, it's pretty watered down.
Man, I was hoping if I went for the dark stuff, it would be less watered down.
If you had to guess, this might actually be the stout, just with a lot of water in it.
Got it. Okay. Well, maybe guessing. I need to try the stout.
He's like, 2 copper.
I should have a couple copper on me. I have mostly gold, but I have a couple copper, I believe. So you
give him a couple copper. It's like, what brings you to the Thirsty Barnacle? You're new in town, aren't you?
Yeah, I was traveling with a couple of my friends, and we've stopped by here, and we're trying to pick up some extra supplies, I suppose, and
if you're
maybe some jobs
supplies,
or things.
You should go tomorrow because he's closed today. But there's Gabriel has he's just down over the way. He's got his general store. Although if you're looking for some good fish, hit the market out there. You passed it on the way in.
Will do. That's a good recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah, all I can do to help. Enjoy your beer.
Will do.
Let me know when you need some more. And you start looking around the room. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking around.
Yeah.
Looking for persons of interest in particular.
Marcus, you and Blinby head into the warehouse that is the shipwright's main thing of business. You can see that most of his tools are relatively well organized. He's got a pretty decent stack of wood that looks to be being formed. It actually looks like the bulk of his business is probably making these fishing, sailing ships and things like that. That's probably the bulk of his business because he's got a lot of wood already being sort of formed into that form. And he takes you over to sort of a table where he's got some tools on it, and he turns and puts his back to it and it says, "All right, Blinby, what do you need? I do owe you a favor. I will grant you that. At least you got me away from Elazar. It could have been worse. Fanny would have been all over me if I was still in that shit these days."
Do I know what Elazar is?
You have no idea.
It's not a port or anything. It's probably a person. Okay, I won't ask.
It's not a port that you've ever heard of.
Okay.
So it seems probably likely it's a person. Blinby says, yeah, Elazar, we should get to that in a minute. But I've got a ship, but and she's kind of wavering a little bit, and he says, did you steal another ship? You want me to...
We didn't steal the ship. We
borrowed
we
it
have a ship
by
kind of
force.
stares at her feet a bit as you're talking.
that had been had questionable ownership because it had been Shanghaied.
I see.
Where is Shanghai?
Blinby, did you get to... By the way, Shanghai doesn't exist here, so really you shouldn't use
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe the town it is. I don't know. And actually, Shanghai isn't really the term for it, I don't think.
Yeah.
That would be a crew. But
You're a press gang, but...
Yeah.
Were you part of a pirate, Blinby? And she's like, kind of, when I got out of here, I kind of got into a bit rougher of a crowd, and out of the frying pan into the fire or something like that. The grass really isn't greener out there, I'll have you know. It's all water. Yeah, so we need some papers drawn up, and I know you've been able to deal with that in the past, and that's really the only thing I'm looking for from you. Maybe a thing of paint so we can rename the ship. Beyond that, there's some repairs that need to be done, but I'm not expecting that to be part of this favor. He's like, Jesus, Blinby, of all the times, frickin' Mergale Navy is in port. She's like, yeah, we kind of noticed that on the way in, which is where we're at the smuggler cliff. It's like, Elazar is not going to like that if he catches them there. It's like,
so is Elazar the portmaster?
Are
Of
you actually
raising an eyebrow?
Are you asking that question?
Yeah, raising an eyebrow like...
He's like, Elazar's not the portmaster. Elazar's the goddamn...
So he's a person that we don't need to mess on our bad side. And
is
we
the
are
organized crime, whatever you want to call it, the syndicate. They call themselves the Sessiva now. I hope you know that, Blinby. When you left, he started running rampant. And she's like, well, you know what happened. They all rebelled against me. What was I supposed to do?
Well, but you didn't tell me you had such interesting times. That would have been great to know. That's always good to learn about friends. And I'm giving him her a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Just based on that, it's good to know, and it's now even more interesting to me.
Anyway, we'll go off that bridge when we get there, Zior. All I need is the papers. Let's get the papers first. Then we can get the ship here into port. At that point, we'll be fine. The Navy, who knows? He's like, rumor has it, Blinby, that they were over in the North Ferran, in the Ferran Sea. They were looking for Mad Dog. They had heard he was attacking ships again. Were you part of that? And Blinby kind of inadvertently, maybe. Nice bardic inspiration you got there.
Well, I was mainly just doing it. I would like the person who uses it.
No, I know.
Not me,
and he's like, you can
I just
see
want
him.
to keep a record.
You can see Zior visibly like, all right. Luckily for you, I have the right papers because I'm just about to christen a new ship for someone. I'll redirect those papers to you. But this is it. Nothing more from me to you. Not a single thing. If there's anything else you need, it's going to be... You have something turned on, Marcus, and I don't know what it is. Oh, the Bardic effect. You have a temporary effect on. I think it's your
Bardic inspiration.
Your Bardic inspiration.
I don't know how I would cast on somebody else. That's weird. Okay. Anyway,
it doesn't matter. He says, "All right. Can you get it tonight so we can have it? Take it back with us in the morning." Like, yes, Fanny's not going to be appreciative of this, but I'll try to keep it from her. After dinner, I'll go speak with the magistrate and get everything sorted out.
He is a good person to know, Blinby. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, everything else will be...
Don't thank me yet. You have to spend a night here, and Blinby is... Well, if Elazar sees her, person non grata. Now get out of my establishment. I'll see you in the morning. I'll meet you at Tyrok's. He's like, all right, fine. better place than the Barnacle. Maybe I shouldn't have sent the one kid there. And Zero's like, what? As you guys leave the room, leave the place.
So, Limby, maybe we should spend the night out of town. Maybe if we pay someone for a barn or something.
No, it'll be fine. Elazar's not going to do anything against me. As long as we're staying where I want us to stay. We're going to stay at the Northrest. It's right near the garrison. He won't do anything there.
But if he knows you're in town, will he set someone up when we're walking? I mean,
possibly, but you're a pretty decent fellow with that weapon you got there. It'll be fine.
I am, but bloodshed tends to draw attention, and we definitely don't want that.
It does, but we'll see if it's the same captain.
I'll trust in you. You're good.
If it's the same captain who's running the garrison here, I think we're probably safer than you think. And she starts heading out down the road as you guys are talking.
Can I insight that? Is she?
Yeah, you can insight it.
Bluster than
go ahead.
Or hopefulness.
She seems like believes that if the same person is still the captain of the garrison, that she's probably fine.
He being yes.
Yeah. And you guys start heading towards the Thirsty Barnacle. Iylis. And meanwhile, you've looked around and started to look over the clientele. And again, mostly sailors and dock workers. There might be a farmer or two. It's hard to tell. They all are kind of wearing similar stuff.
So there's nobody with like any particularly interesting items on their person.
No, but there is one person who does draw your attention because every now and then you catch him looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like. Let's see, did I make a thing for him? I did not make a thing for him yet. Give me one moment. I will make a thing for him.
Make a thing.
No, I just need to make a journal entry, and then I found out a better way to show you guys pictures. Actually.
Oh, cool.
So that you don't have to. I can make it so you guys can view it whenever you want, basically. All right. So it is be able to do this and then show you. So there you go. So this guy, tattoos, balding guy, bushy eyebrows, tattoos on the backside of his head that are kind of sigil-like. And also you can see the sort of the similar kind of thing peeking out from behind his shirt. It's just every so often he looks at you. There's a couple of people around him that are mostly sailors, or at least they look like sailors, sitting at the same table. He's drinking a drink, a beer probably of some sort, and he mostly is. He's got a girl around one arm. She looks maybe late teens, redhead, and she's sort of. He's kind of got, if I could say anything, it's like you're in a biker bar. He's the head biker at the bar, and this is his, one of his harem kind of feel to it. That's kind of the feel you get from this guy. Because every now and then, like when you see him look at you, then you kind of watch him for a little bit, and he sort of surveys the whole room. His gaze tends to linger more on the Mergale Navy men than it does more on you, though.
He's just kind of checking everybody out, but mostly
you're an oddity and a perquisity to him.
I mean, fair enough.
To the other guys, to him though, are a little more interesting, is from what you can tell.
Yeah.
After you kind of watch that, you're kind of drinking your ale. Anything else you want to try to do? Eventually, you do find that there is a halfling standing near the fireplace.
Right.
With a lute.
Oh, that
is where the music is coming from.
Very cool. Very cool.
But it's really hard. It was really hard to find him. The only reason you didn't find him is because he jumped up onto, the sort of the not the mantle, but the lintel of the fireplace, and that got him up a couple feet so you could at least see him. And that was part of a rousing song where everybody started to join in, sort of a sea chant, not a sea chanty, but one of those songs that everybody seems to know, even you do it,
right?
Kind of thing that kind of came out.
Rye whiskey, rye, I ain't crying.
Yeah. And when that kind of ended, he kind of stops his set. And what are you doing at that point?
Tipping him a copper piece.
Well, he kind of sidles up to the bar.
Okay.
Gets up
Wait,
on a
just a
stool
second.
and he's like, "Oh, hey,
Well, maybe I'll buy him a drink then.
maybe you're gonna buy me a drink."
Yeah.
Yay, that sounds
That was a
awesome.
good song. I liked
No, if I
it.
could
You
just
played
give
it
you
well.
Oh, well, I mean, I do my best. That is really weird. There we go. That's why. He says, name's Berengar. Berengar Hope Singer. At your service.
Nice
Just
to
passing
meet you.
through,
I'm
though.
Iylis.
Iylis, are you saying?
I'm also passing through.
Well, I would hope so. You Searly are not really going to be wanted around here very much.
Nah, I don't get the idea that I fit in too well.
And it's very clear, you're the only Searly in this place.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a diary land, so yeah, there are definitely people. It now occurs to you after this conversation is going on, that might be why this guy has been looking at you every so often, more
Fair
than
enough.
anything else. He's like, well, I'll take that drink though. I mean, never know when I'm going to get another one. This lot is
Honestly.
not being very forthcoming in their tips.
I'll spend another couple copper
Okay.
on that.
All right, he gets the stout, which
Smart
actually
man.
costs you 5 copper.
Oh, okay. Well, you got change for gold.
Malin looks at you and he's like, sure. Do you flap that gold out there?
I wait and to see like how much he's got. And to see if he reaches.
gives you,
Yeah.
he gives you about, he gives you a few silver. He gives you a. You
I mean,
also
there's-
are you also buying another drink yourself?
Yeah, I'm also gonna get a
Okay,
stout.
so he gives you
Yeah.
back. He gives you back 7 or 9 silver.
Yeah,
But you pull
that
it
helps.
out
Okay,
and slap
cool.
it on the thing, and he's like, "All right," and he gives you the 9 silver. He actually gives you 8 silver and 10 copper because figures you're gonna.
8 silver, 10 copper.
Yep.
Very cool.
He's like, I gotta roll something. What's your passive perception?
11.
All right, so yeah, you put your money away. The halfling takes his drink and kind of does a little bit of he takes a swallow of it, then he takes another swallow and gargles it a little bit, and then he swallows that one. He's like, nothing like getting the vocal cords warmed up with a bit of stout.
Honestly, I'm gonna double check like around me to make sure there's no one like with an arm trying to grab my
you
money.
and the halfling are sitting here.
I mean, it's in my like backpack kind of thing.
I understand. You and the halfling are sitting at the bar. Every now and then, like the press of bodies are hitting you, no matter what. Like,
Yeah, I figured.
Looking around, looking around. Give me a perception check because now you're actually trying to see if something's going on.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around, you notice that that guy is now looking at you a bit more. He's got a different look on his face. He's got a different look on his face as he's looking at you, almost like a calculated look.
Interesting.
That's the first thing you notice. Second thing you notice is that the people who have been bumping into you behind you are a couple sailors.
Okay.
So again, you're not sure if they've been trying to, and you kind of feel your stuff, and it seems like all your money is still there.
Cool. Just double checking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Never know with this crowd.
Yeah. The halfling drinks a little more and he says, "So what brings you here?"
Like I was telling the bartender, it's just supplies and such like that. We're adventurers,
that adventuring lot. You must have lots of coin. Maybe I should. Maybe I should get you. Maybe I should go and join up with you and become your personal personal bard.
Unfortunately, we've already got a bard, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind a couple singing lessons from you.
That's fair. It's fair. Well, maybe I'll see him soon enough if you say your friends are going to be here.
Yeah, he should be here soon.
And just as you say that, the door opens and in comes Marcus and Blimby.
Ta-da! Speak of the devil.
Look around.
I try to wave Marcus over.
You guys open the door, and you are already hearing the place from half a block down, or more than a half a block down. Pretty loud. You open the place, and it's packed. Like, this is a 30 by 20 room. It's not very big. Well, at least the space where people can be is about 30 by 20. There's the bar. It gives a little bit more to it. And then there's a door that goes into the back, probably where they're holding, drinks and stuff like that. Clearly a tavern. There's not a single piece of food in this whole place. Everybody's got a drink of some sort. Mostly dock workers and sailors. But you do notice that there seems to be 5 Mergale Navy sailors in here. Again, notable by the fact that you can see they're wearing the Navy trim, as well as what you think is an officer from the Navy ship, sitting playing dice with a couple of his men and a couple of what you think are probably dock workers. There are clearly 2 farmers in here, and then there's a couple of what you think are probably just typical, townsfolk or that sort of stuff in here. But it's like a good 20, 25 people in this room. At the bar, you can see Iylis and a halfling. They seem to be chatting with each other, although just as you open the door and look up, Iylis starts to wave at you. But at that exact same time, you hear Blimby go, "Ah, shit. We should probably leave."
Oh, no.
Let me go get Iylis. Just go ahead and...
She heads back out the door.
Back. Yeah. I'll take a roundabout way to get to Iylis.
Yeah, Iylis, you see them kind of come in, and then Blimby immediately head back out the door.
I want to try to call if anybody saw him.
If anybody saw Blimby?
Yeah, if anybody made him, like...
give me a perception roll as you're kind of moving
of,
through. Give me a perception roll.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, recognized him.
Her, by the way.
Sorry, her. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Blimby does sound like a woman's
Oh, come on. Of course.
Well, I mean, as you're kind of going through there, you notice, you do notice somebody that kind of is looking at you now, but seemed to be looking in your direction pretty much the whole time. At least you notice this, and happens to be this person.
Do I know this person? Looking at him.
Nope, you have no idea who this person is.
He just likes looking.
Do I recognize any of his tats?
No, they're kind of like sigils and stuff like that. There's nothing obvious about them. They look sigil-like. I shouldn't say they're sigils, but they look sigil-like. But there's nothing obvious about them. Although I will give you a knowledge history check if you'd like.
That would be good.
There's something odd about the ones that are coming up from his chest, but you can't see enough of it to know exactly what it is. That makes sense?
Yep.
You're a little too far away, and they're also going. It looks like most of the tattoo is below in his shirt, so it's hard to say.
I just kind of want to. I don't want to look obvious that I'm looking.
No, I don't.
Just kinda
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Something odd about it, and almost it tickles at your memory, but not enough for you to be able to call it forward. But after a few moments, you actually get to where Iylis is.
Iylis, good to see you, my lad.
What's up? I just met this other bard that's been singing here, and he's really
the guy
cool.
who's still sitting right next to you?
Yeah. I'm introducing him.
My name's Berengar Hopesinger, and yours is
Marcus. Always a pleasure to meet another patron of the arts.
Yeah, you can see there's sort of a lute over his back, but that's about it.
Can I buy you a drink?
Oh, well, your friend here just did. I'm still enjoying it.
I must beg your patience. We need to go back outside to check on the mount, so come with me, Iylis.
Well, okay.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Don't be a stranger. Come on back.
Oh, definitely. A place like this, I would love to entertain and hear your stories.
Oh, yes. Well, I have a few, but I'm mostly a singer.
Well, we work well then. I can tell the stories and learn the stories, and you can sing them. or vice versa. Always a pleasure. And start moving out the door.
All right, you guys kind of head out.
I will tell Iylis, meet me outside, and I'm going to try to separate from Iylis.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not hard. I mean, well,
I know.
It's not a very big room, but there are a lot of people in it, so you can easily get shunted out of the way if you so desire.
Yes,
as people bang into you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will make my way to the door and keeping an eye out on people trying to go for my bag.
You get to the door. Nothing seems untoward. Seems
Cool.
Marcus, what are you trying to do?
I'm just going a more roundabout way. Is there another? Is there back entrance or anything? Is just one door?
It's hard to tell. You can.
I just don't want to time it so we go out together. I do not want to go out together at the same time.
I just waved at you.
Well, it's pretty clear that you guys are together.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, but I'm just waving at you.
You're chatting at him, and the two of you kind of leaving the bar.
Okay, well, I'll just never mind then. We're just going to head out.
I mean, you can do that, and Iylis goes out the door, and a little bit later, you go out after him. And outside is Blinby kind of tapping her foot. Is like, after Marcus gets out there, she's like, finally, let's go. We need to get to the northwest. This was not a good place to be.
Oh, any particular reason?
Did you clock the officer and his men in there? Do you know him?
No, it's not him. I'm not worried about the Mercale Navy.
The man with the tattoos?
Elazar is it?
Hmm.
And I don't want to deal with him right now. And I just hope he didn't see me. So let's go.
Well, he noticed me, but I've never met the man.
Mm-hmm. And she heads down the thing here and then heads up this way.
I will also go that way.
Until you get to a rather large 2.5-story building that has a sign over top of it. It's sort of partially in disrepair, but it looks as though someone is attempting to keep it up. The front door has a sign above it with a weather vane etched on it, with sort of an N on the top. You can read the N, but as you go inside the room, it's a medium-sized common room where you think probably some meals and maybe drinks are served. But an older man is sitting behind a bar, and there's literally nobody in here right now. And he kind of looks up as you kind of enter, and he says, "Oh, maybe some customers this evening. Bora, be ready. Hello, my name is Bello Villamil. What can I do for you?" And then he looks a little bit closer and he says, "Blinby? Is that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's me, Bello. I'm back. Only for a little while." "Oh, well, I guess. Do you have to stay here?"
There's still the woods.
He's like,
the woods to the north.
"Yes,
Blinby.
I need to be close to the garrison, and you know why. Just check us in." Like, all right. Separate rooms?
I think it might be better in a crowd, so one room.
Fair enough. And he turns behind and takes out a key and he passes it down to Blinby and he says, "Should I put it on your tab? You know, the one you still haven't paid for 5 years?" She's like, "Yep." And she heads up the stairs.
I thought about offering to pay, but I won't. That's too expensive.
He's like, "Well, okay then. We'll see you in the morning."
Just out of curiosity, how much is his tab? I'll kind of slow down and ask.
Well, with interest, probably about 50 gold at this point.
Well, you never know. Maybe his ship's coming in soon, and we'll see that money. Can I do persuasion on that?
Sure.
I know. You know what we mean. Not bad.
Well, maybe you're right.
I just don't want to get paid to turn us in. Yeah.
So that's something. Have a good night. If you need anything to drink, I recommend the Downpour just along the way. Very good place.
Thank you.
And nothing like that rabble-rousing down at the Barnacle.
I'm sure, but those type of places we try to stay away from. Raising an eyebrow at Iylis.
Good on you.
So just go
All right,
on
you head
upstairs.
upstairs. All right, you head upstairs. You can see, you hear a door closing as you get to the top of the stairs, so you approximately know where she's at. And in a moment, you guys are in the room.
Can I do perception? Kind of, is there an upstairs window I could look out?
Yeah,
See if
sure.
anyone's.
Yeah, there is.
Showing
the
where
hall,
we-
there's a window.
Okay. Come on, oh, good. The 17 was the first one. Is there anybody odd just standing guard or marking that?
Looking around on the outside, from this direction, it's hard to say.
Okay.
You do notice a few people kind of shuffling past. I mean, it's only, maybe about 5:30 or so nobody's really drunk or anything like that, but a few people are probably heading back to their abodes for the night. It is sort of the end of the week, though, so more than likely tomorrow no one's going to have to do much, or just the fishermen continue to go out, but farmers continue to tend things if they have to. But some of the other ones will probably not, because it's sort of God's days is the 29th, is the beginning of the week. So so
any of the locals making themselves scarce, or any of the type of
not really, no. It's
vagrants?
just
I
people
don't know
are
if
just
they have
kind of
vagrants
moving
here, but-
along. You don't notice anybody that's really out of the ordinary, is I guess what I'm saying.
Okay.
There is a nice aroma of baked bread on the breeze, though, but that's about it.
Get some of that before we leave town. I'm sure the crew will love that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anything else you guys are going to do this evening, or are you going to just try to hunker down?
I'm good. I want to hunker down.
And try to make it through.
The Blimby. We all have history.
Sure. What's yours?
It's in the past, just like yours.
So is mine. So let's leave it there.
Exactly. But what we do need is, how can we help you avoid this history? Or is it such a thing that we need to worry about?
You shouldn't need to worry about it too much.
But
Elazar is not. Will at some point in the next day or two, since you're probably going to want the ship to be fixed, Elazar is going to force a confrontation. He will. But once he learns that I'm not here to stay, it'll be fine.
It's not a payment option where we pay a little for his good graces?
We could. Do you really want to? When you start that, he's just going to keep expecting it.
It depends on how friendly he is. And that past we know.
No, we don't want to do that.
Well, Dresd'a's not there, but
I was like, damn, voice from above.
I'm just saying.
All right, it is an option.
He's the kind of guy that once you start doing that particular thing, once you capitulate once, he's just going to keep trying to make it go further and further.
Then there is
So
another
there's no need
option.
to worry about it for now.
All right, but there is another option that sounds like you might have friends too. That if such a thing comes, I'm sure that an opening could be found.
Possibly, but we don't need to worry about it. We're not going to be here long enough. Hopefully.
All right. Yeah. Now I'm really worried.
Well,
I'll take first watch.
All right. You take first watch. Are there watches being made at the ship? So back to the ship.
Absolutely.
The rest of the day goes fine. I did a roll already. There's no attempts to escape. The guys seem to be on the up and up for the current time being. So it becomes nightfall. Who's doing watches?
I'll do first watch.
Okay. So this first roll is for the ship. Second roll is for town. You guys on the ship, you can just see as you get to the stern end of the ship, you can see out there that storm is slowly moving towards you, but at this point in time you realize that it's probably going to be late afternoon tomorrow when it finally reaches you. But a storm that you can see this far away definitely is going to be a whopper. So hopefully you can get into port before then. But nothing else seems to be happening. Back at the place, Marcus, you hear out the windows, you hear, people come by, and and occasionally laughter and stuff as people are, out and about this evening. It's a nice enough, warm enough night for a spring evening, and you guys are in the Sea of Tears, which is a relatively warm place for the most part. But nothing seems to happen.
Yeah.
Who's doing next watch at the ship?
Rhux will.
All right. All right.
Nice roll.
And who's doing watch at the inn? So no one.
It's either Iylis or Blimby.
Blimby will do watch. Sorry.
Yeah, I can watch.
Back at the ship. Rhux, you're up on deck, kind of watching around, and you hear a scuff behind you, and turning around, you see True has kind of come up the stairs. She's like, can't sleep down there. Worried about Blimby and the rest of the people. I know that she has history in this place. How are you, Rhux? You never really talk.
Still don't talk.
This is why we don't talk very much, because you never seem to say anything.
I'm doing...
Still waters run deep, or so I hear. My goddess doesn't really believe in that shit, but...
The waters run very deep in these parts.
And what is your god? Who do you pay lip service to?
I don't know if you could really consider the sea a god.
Oh, Hynari.
It's less of a following
the
a
goddess
deity.
of the goddess of the water and the sea. Hynari,
It's
correct?
less of following the. It's less of following a deity and more of following the ideals of the ocean.
Interesting. Never thought of ideals of something being providing abilities and power, but maybe. Now we should talk more about your philosophy and theology, but probably not right now, because I'm pretty sure I just saw somebody up on top of the cliff.
Well,
I will look at the cliff.
Looking up top there, you see a couple rocks kind of trickle down, and you can sort of see something move across. And
Make a perception check.
yeah, give me a perception check.
I will use my eyeballs.
Okay.
Look at
You
them.
don't see just something move across. You see something fly across the top of the cliff. And at the same time, True says, "Okay, maybe not a person. Wingspan easily 10 to 15 feet in length. Pitch black.
Big bird.
The head is, you
Bird
can't tell. It gets
person.
the darkness of this, like the whole creature is dark, so you can't really tell what the head looks like. But there is an interesting part to it. It has a tail, and the tail kind of, after a bit, splits apart, and you can see two kind of almost paddle-like things. They're it's like two tentacles that turn off into not barbed stingers or anything like that, but almost like flat paddles. And this thing flies, and it's deathly
Interesting.
quiet. And it flies across the top and then continues. And you sit and watch for a bit. Still nothing. And after about 20 minutes, True's like, well, that might explain why the Smuggler's Cove is not in use anymore. We might want to get out of here in the morning.
Do you know what that is?
No, but it was big. That was easily as big or larger than a freaking horse.
I concur.
Let's hope it doesn't come back. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
She heads back down into the thing.
I'm gonna keep looking at the bird.
The bird, raven.
Or did the bird thing leave too?
No, the creature flew across. There is no bird thing. The bird thing is what you saw.
About the bird thing.
15-foot diameter, 15-foot
Hey,
wingspan.
Is it still there?
No, it flew across the top of the cleft and kept on going.
It flew away. Okay.
Yes. It was at the top and it flew across.
Okay. I thought it was just moving around and then
it was not a bird. It was clearly not a bird.
I mean, yes.
Or at least not any kind of bird you've ever seen.
It's a really big bird.
It's Superman.
I'll have to ask Praedyth if that's the bird he gets after a little while, if he's really nice to his deity. Is that his bird?
You're not sure.
At the premium version?
That's the premium version. Blinby wakes up Iylis at his turn for watch. Ooh. She says, I don't know, you guys are a bit jumpy, but I'm not hearing anything going on out there. Most of the parties have finally ended. So should be pretty quiet. Who's doing third watch on the ship?
It is I.
All right. Aaron, Rhux mentions the big, huge flying creature.
It's a really big bird.
Never shows back up.
I don't believe him.
Kind of look around, and you know the main moon, Lenari, does come up at a certain point, and you can see it kind of light things up a little bit better because it is even at a waning gibbous, it's still pretty bright in the sky. So this kind of greenish, a greenish light kind of illuminates the landscape, but
and I can't believe it's waning.
It's not whining, it's waning.
And I can't believe it'd be waning.
So wet outside.
Iylis,
it's waning.
You don't notice anything outside, or no problems seem to occur as you notice the outside start to lighten up as morning comes, and it is the next day.
Yay!
Blinby's up at the crack of dawn. She's like, man, I hope Seor's got what the hell I wanted from him. I want to get the hell off of this place. And she heads downstairs. Bello is kind of sitting there. He's like, so how you gonna pay me, lass? And she's like, when I get back. I'll pay you when I get back. Well, I've heard that before. Good luck. You guys following her?
I'll follow her. She means well.
Sure. Yeah.
She heads out the door. Sitting across the way, leaning.
Yeah, I see this coming.
Sitting across the way are a couple guys. They look like, I don't know, sailors or dock workers or something like that. They're kind of looking there, and as soon as Blimby comes out, she kind of looks up and says, and she's like, "Yeah, I figured." And she continues heading down the way. And she turns, left, and starts heading this direction.
I see the opposite direction of them.
Yep.
Following her.
All right. So
I'll actually go to the right.
She heads up to
the opposite way.
The other guy, the two guys, as soon as they see her start heading that way, they kind of just look at her a little bit, and one of them says, "Maybe we're gonna have to chat. He's gonna want to chat with you at some point. You should just get it over with." It's like, I won't be here tomorrow, hopefully, so don't worry about it. And she heads to here. So you head right, but she heads to there. And as she kind of turns to the right there, the two of them kind of look at you as Iylis, as you're looking back. The two of them look at each other and like kind of do, and then they head this direction. Seem to be heading after Marcus.
And Marcus is going to go into the woods. Is that woods, I assume?
It's not really woods. It's just a bunch of trees.
Okay.
I mean, there's literally that many trees.
Am I out of sight of them, however?
You can try to give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Be sneaky.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll get a stealth check.
Okay.
What you're trying to do?
Super fast, but you can try to do a stealth check.
Let's see what. Of course.
Tough.
So you kind of get into the bushes and kind of
step there. On like 5.
I'm not actually sitting there. I want a place to. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to go behind a building, and then cast disguise self.
Okay.
On myself and change into something completely different.
Disguise yourself as Blimby.
Disguise yourself
No.
as the tattoo guy.
You are literally in the middle of casting your spell when the two guys come around the corner and look right at you. And it's like, and one of them says, "Hi," and then you turn into something else, and they're like, "That's a neat trick."
Well, I mean, if I see him coming, so that I don't get far enough away for do that.
No, you're stuck in the
Dude, you rolled a
animation.
1 on your
No.
stealth, unfortunately.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know.
You're
but
stuck in your animation.
I mean, you don't
for the
have to
spell.
finish the spell. You don't have to finish
Okay,
the spell.
yeah, I won't finish the spell.
Yeah.
It would have been.
And they're like, "What you doing here in town? Maybe you should come with us." What do you want to do?
I'm just a traveler. I don't think you have any issue with me. I don't have any issue with you.
I don't know. We might have issues with you. Depends.
You might.
You have any money?
No. Would I stay in that place if I had money?
Yeah, it costs a bit. It's
The
also
place
the
we
only
were?
inn in town.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had enough.
I think
No.
we can certainly ignore that we saw you for, say, gold piece. I mean, we saw your friend throwing around some money last night at the Barnacle.
Of course you did. And that's why we're not really friends. How much do I have on me? Do I have a gold on me, I assume?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, we had that from...
You had some money, but I don't know how much you personally spent. Get
Yeah.
your stuff back. I mean, I assume you probably have 1 gold.
Okay. Well, I will give them I'll flip a gold to them. Fair
Great.
enough.
And the one guy is
pleasant
like,
town.
"Well, that was really nice of him, Bruno. Maybe if we see him tomorrow, he'll give us another one."
Hmm.
And the other guy's like, "Yeah, we should try to see him tomorrow. Hey, why don't you meet us here tomorrow?"
I don't think you'll be seeing me here tomorrow.
Huh. Well, then maybe we should go speak. We should take you to Elazar now, then.
Unslinging the crossbow. I don't think we will.
Oh, if you start unslinging the crossbow, then they immediately start grabbing you, so you might as well roll initiative.
Okay. Well, I mean, so they're not. When I slowly go, they're going to move towards me.
Well, they're not that far away from you.
Oh, I could back away from them. I mean, I didn't know they were on top of me. I thought
No, they're
would
not on
see
top
me.
of you. They're within like 10, 15 feet. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I could
That's
run
what I'm
for it, is what you're saying.
You can
Because
try
I'm
to run
backing
for
away
it.
slowly.
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
if you unlimber a weapon, they're
I
going to
won't
do
run
something. If you try to start getting away, they're also going to do something, but maybe not
Okay.
as drastic. Either
Well-
way, it's initiative.
I will put my initiative. It is.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be initiative here no matter what. So I'm
Okay.
going to drop 2 guys on here. There.
Why is it not rolled? Because I don't have.
Yep, I'll get you on here in a second.
Gotcha.
Don't worry. See, now we'll put you into a combat. Now you
The
can
way
do
I'm
initiative.
rolling, it'll be a 1.
All right, so they've rolled initiative. You've rolled initiative. Because I want these guys to be the same.
Give me the average.
That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let us begin. Marcus.
Yeah.
what do
So
you
if
wish
they
to do?
start to go towards me, I'm casting
Well,
longs.
they're not going towards you. They are basically, if you start to do anything that either makes it look like you're going to try to run away or try to attack them, that's when they're going to start to do something.
I put my hand on my blade,
And that's
I'm
why
not
we're
drawing
doing
it.
initiative.
and I will cast Long Strider on myself and leave.
You're going to try to, you can cast Long Strider on yourself. Go for it.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I will.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So.
Well, okay, so
Diagonal.
hold on.
I mean, I'm assuming I can make it through the buildings, right?
Well, remember, each one of these is, move yourself
Okay.
back to there. Hold on a second. Each one of these is like 100 feet, I want to say. No, it's 20 feet. So each
Okay.
square is 20 feet. So move yourself an appropriate number of squares, given that each square is 20 feet.
Got it.
So that would be your move.
Yes.
My
action was
Long Strider is an action. Okay.
Yeah. It's a distraction. I'm assuming it's action. Yeah.
So it is now their turn. They're going to run at you. So that's 1, 2. So they dash up to you.
Right.
Pulling out some clubs.
Okay.
So that is their turn. And we get to the top of the round. What are you doing?
I will dash to the north.
All right. Well, they will get into attack.
And I draw my sword.
Because you're...
Did they get within me?
Yeah, they can move 60 feet. They did double move to get up.
Oh, that's true.
So they do get an attack of opportunity unless you disengage.
I will disengage and move away from them.
All right.
But I will draw my sword as my bonus. Actually, I'll draw my crossbow as my bonus action.
Okay.
So you don't move as far if you disengage, though, right?
I've still got, it's an action to disengage.
Yeah, disengage action is an action.
Yeah, but the dash
bonus
action.
to pull the crossbow, and then he's just moving. He moves 40.
Yeah.
So there we go. This guy.
I don't think you want to do this.
Also, let's see here. How far? Let me check exactly how far away, just to make sure. Okay, so he cast a dash to catch up to you. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to just move him on top of you. So they just catch up to you again. That is what they end up doing on their turn. It is now your turn again.
I will disengage and move away towards the north.
Okay. All right.
You're bringing them back around a year.
All right. So one of them. Is it? Okay, it's that one. This one chases after you.
Okay.
But this one seems to come to here and pulls out a sling, and he does a sling stone at you. So let me fire a quick sling stone. It's going to look like a light crossbow, but it's not.
Sure.
It's just easier for me to fire what he's already got. So the damage will not be what it says it is. So 21 to hit, but I need to change the damage to a D4.
Okay.
Roll a D4. No, I did not mean to roll 2 of them.
No, they're the same, so it doesn't matter.
No, it shouldn't.
3 and 3.
Oh yeah, so 3. Well, let me re-roll it. It just should have been one of them. 1 point of damage. You get hit with
Even
a sling
better.
stone for 1 point.
Okay.
And then this guy, that's 20. He next turn he can move 2 of the squares because he would have moved halfway through.
Right.
So that was 20 feet. So he'll move halfway into here. So just remind me he can only move 1 square next time. And it is now your turn. 1 is still on you though. He did keep running after you.
Okay. I will step away and take an attack of opportunity.
Okay. This guy does an attack of opportunity on you with a weapon. It is a 20.
That hits.
For 8 points.
Okay. And I shoot him in the face.
And you shoot him in the face.
Yes.
Iylis, you hear, given where you're at, and as you kind of move around, you hear people moving through the buildings and through the trees back there. At the end of this round, I'll give you a chance to do initiative.
Okay.
All right, Marcus, do your shooting in the face.
Okay, I'll try to get my 8 points off the hit points. I'll do that in a second. Okay. Shooting, I am not using.
Wow, you now have 0. Way to go.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
All right, so you've lost 9 points, so you're at 26.
Yeah, I'm at. Yeah, thank you. Wasn't there one you should put the points you take and then hit damage on it? That's probably the other system I play.
Say that again.
Anyway, I'm doing excellent rolling.
11, I think, missions. It does actually.
Yeah, I would think.
Case, unfortunately,
you don't want to do this. Next shot goes through your head.
Should have just promised that you would stay. Would have come to the thing. So the one throws another sling at you because it's just going to be easier. He doesn't wear clothes. I'm going to quickly put a sling on him.
I do move away full, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get around the house, get around the building because I get cover, right? So 1, 2.
All right, so this guy runs and catches up with you, but he can't do anything more. This guy can move 1 extra, or 1 as his normal move, And then he can move one more, but he can't fire. Iylis, would you like to participate?
I would love to.
As you hear Marcus come running around with him.
I'm so fast.
Iylis, it is now your turn. You kind of see, you can hear some running down the street behind you, and kind of a short little move, and you can see Marcus is being chased by those two guys.
So can I see down the street now,
notice,
or from where I am?
We'll say you can. You can move 10 feet.
Okay.
Like, you can move to here and see down the street. That's enough.
Okay.
You also notice Blinby go into this building, in through this kind of thing. So, FYI.
Is that the guardhouse, by the way? That's just a building.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like a fort or anything. It's just.
It kind of looks like a garrison, yes.
Okay.
Although you can't currently see it because you haven't gotten around the corner. But
oh, okay.
How close are these guys to Marcus? Exactly.
One is right on Marcus.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I think I want to cast a magic missile.
Okay.
We'll do a level 2 on both of them, so it's 2 on each.
You can't see the one guy behind him. He's actually behind.
Oh, okay.
So you can only see
okay, well,
guy.
I'll just do a level 1 on that guy.
Yeah. This guy literally is between the buildings. He couldn't quite make it back around. He's actually done.
Nice shot.
5 plus 2 more of those, right?
Yeah.
Wow, 11 points. Your missiles. You step back and you see Marcus running out, and you speak a couple words and gesture with a throwing motion at the one guy, and these missiles come flying out of your fingertips and fly past Marcus, fly around him, and slam into the guy who's coming right behind him. The guy kind of skids to a halt and is like, oh, wow, that's not fair. Anything else, Iylis?
Stop chasing this man.
I mean, you still
need to leave. I'm telling, is what Marcus is saying.
Marcus, you're
up. I'm gonna go ahead and keep running. Step away, attack of opportunity if he wants it.
Okay, we'll take it. Quick. He gets a 19. I'm rolling great. 9 more points of damage.
I'm so happy.
But when you get to there, though, you do see that there is definitely around the corner. There is a garrison here. Clearly, a garrison.
Okay. So,
go ahead.
Well, I don't want to shoot him in the face with the garrison there.
Think I care?
Well, you may not care, but yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
Okay.
Move. So that's 1, and then the second spot will be.
You can move 1 more.
Here, actually, I can go, since I didn't shoot, I can go ahead and do. Can I do diagonal and get behind it?
No. Because of the nature of this particular map, you can't really do diagonals to get any bonuses.
I'll go ahead and do that then.
Okay. This guy moves up and gets to Iylis and attacks him. Because, you just shot him with a magic missile, man.
I did.
Not happy about that.
He was chasing my friend.
16 to hit you?
That'll hit me, I believe.
That's 7 points damage.
Ouch.
And then this guy comes out and gets up to you, but that's as much as he can do.
Okay.
Up to Iylis?
Up to Iylis, yeah. Well, he gets to here because he's going past you. He's trying to go after Marcus.
Right.
So that is their turn. At this point in time, you guys hear some noise from the garrison. Iylis, sure.
All right, I'm gonna. I want to do my tempestuous magic thing to get away from.
Okay. Technically, this guy is sort of in your square because you're 20 by 20. so he can be moving around you, but you need your square. So if you tempestuous go, I'll let you move up one, and I'll move him down into your square.
And then...
But you need to cast a first level spell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's got to be a first level spell.
Yes. It has to be an actual spell slot is the answer.
Right. I'm gonna do ice knife on the dude.
Okay, that's fine.
The same dude as before.
24 definitely hits.
Nice
Cool.
shot.
All right, so move yourself up one as you move your 10 feet, and I'll put them there. And you're the same one as before, though, correct?
Yes.
So that's this one.
So it does that, and then it does needs to make the dexterity saving throw.
He does make it.
Yeah, I think he makes it.
The other
And
guy's
I
not,
imagine the other guy is not in range.
close enough. Yeah, he's not within 5 feet of his friend. All right, so you still have a move action if you'd like.
I'm gonna run this way. So I guess I can get...
You can go into the garrison if you want. The gate is open.
That's true.
All right.
I'll go in there then.
Marcus,
Linby.
You're up. As you go in, you see Linby is talking to... give me 1 second. Linby is talking to this woman. Kind of gesturing at her, saying and talking. They're talking a little bit, and the woman is like shouting at orders. And a couple guardsmen, a couple soldiers have picked up weapons and have starting to go out the front door, the front of the garrison.
Cool.
Marcus, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm assuming I'm still seeing dressy people on the garrison wall.
There's nothing. There's no garrison wall. It's just.
I mean, can I be seen from the garrison?
No, it's like just a building. It's not
like a building.
It's not like a building with a small fence around it to make it sort of defensible, but it's not like a small tower.
There's no tower.
Like that.
Yeah.
I am going to do a menacing attack on the one who is not hurt with my crossbow.
Okay.
So what the hell? Why did they roll a D8?
I don't know. You did a maneuver, menacing
the
attack.
The maneuver. Okay, so that's the damage if I hit.
Yeah, if you hit, that's the extra.
Okay, so it doesn't just
So do your damage. Do your attack. 19 will hit. So now he has to make a. You went on the damaged one. Is that correct?
No, the non-damaged one.
Okay, so he needs to make a wisdom saving throw, which he just makes.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly what it does. He's frightened of you if he fails, but otherwise he takes 9 points, 10 points.
10 points.
10 points, yeah. All right.
And I'm going to action surge and shoot him again.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. Did you want to do another maneuver?
I do. Well, let me. When do I declare the maneuver? Before.
I've actually most of your maneuvers should be set up correctly now, so that if you click on them, they'll set themselves up.
Yeah, I can't remember because I can't do sharpshooter and menacing maneuver. So I'm going to hit the other one with a sharpshooter.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to use precision attack depending on how I roll. Seriously?
7.
All right, so and then I'm going to hit precision attack.
Okay.
What an advantage I can't roll. All right.
Oops, that was an accident.
That's fine.
I did not mean to hit that. I wanted to see what it said.
I like yours better.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go ahead and go behind the building.
So an 8 actually misses.
Yeah, no, I figured.
No, I was just making sure what it. So you've done an action and your action surge. You still have a move.
And then, yeah, 1, 2.
Okay. These guys notice the action going on in the garrison, and they shout at you, Marcus. Alazar will hear of this. And they start heading the other direction.
Okay, so now we got to kill him. Great. All right.
And we'll go out of initiative. Inside the garrison, Iylis, Blimby is talking to that woman. She's directing people out, and some of the guardsmen come out and kind of head out and start heading down the street, but don't really seem to be moving as fast as you think they should, Iylis.
Right.
And, Blimby turns to you and says, "What the heck did that idiot do now? Did he run the other way?"
I mean, I think he was trying to lead him off in another direction or something like that. I think he should be here soon.
No, we leave the door, see two people that might potentially attack us, and he splits up? Is he that stupid?
I guess so.
This is the second... This is the GM saying this. This is the second time Marcus has done this.
Well, again, Marcus thought they would follow him. That was the explanation. Okay, they went out the door. They followed him.
No, I know what you were trying to do.
I thought they were on the back side of the corner following him, and I would get easily away. I didn't think there would be a whole... Because I don't understand they follow him and then...
No, they didn't follow Blimby at all. They were literally right outside the door. And I said, Blimby turned left and started heading up the street.
And I thought...
You said, oh, well, I turned right and started heading down the street. Right. And then they kind of went, okay. Iylis went with Blimby. They were like, huh, well, let's go get the one guy. And so they went after the one guy.
I thought they had followed him. That was
they had not went any direction whatsoever.
Okay.
Until you came wrong.
They just stood there.
I misunderstood.
Because they understood what she was doing by going to the left. They understood she was going to the garrison. Because
that's true.
Here. So they weren't going to go after her in that case. But you presented them with another opportunity.
Yeah, Marcus was going to sneak up behind them and make sure to get cover, but it did not work that way.
Yeah. You were able to come around, though, and get to the garrison. Roll. You're able to... that didn't help.
Annoyed.
The one on the stealth roll did not help at all.
I cannot roll.
You guys get to there. Actually, Marcus, as you're coming into the sort of the garrison, you see ZR...
I cast a healing spell on myself, by the way.
ZR is coming up the street. You can just see him as you go into the garrison.
See? Doing wonderfully.
Well, 3 is better than 0.
Yeah, but I had it. It's the minimum I can roll, though. All right.
All right. You come into there, and Blimby and Iylis are talking. Blimby kind of looks at you and says, "Why don't you just stick with us? Why didn't you?" Never mind. Doesn't matter. We need to meet.
I was going to cover you.
Oh, but by the way, this is Captain Selena Lebevic.
Hi.
So she is still the captain here, and she's like, "Yes, I am still the captain here. Why would I leave this wonderful little town? It's amazingly great to be here." And Blimby kind of gives her a look like, "Pretty sure you've been given the chance for promotion multiple times. Like, they were all in shit places, even more shitty than this." It's like, whatever. I don't think Mirabelle is a shit place, but whatever. If you want to stay here, it's your funeral. And she's a friend of mine from way back. We went to the academy together a long time ago.
Oh, it's good to know people.
Yeah, well, I think you probably just pissed off Alizar, or at least his men, which will tell Alizar. Now we need to make sure we're out of here as soon as possible.
Seems like they were already pissed at us, but he doesn't know.
They probably weren't.
I think they were more pissed at Blimby.
Yeah, I more wanted Blimby, but I mean,
I'll be honest.
Marcus,
now they're mad at Marcus.
Marcus paid them, and all they said is, "Come back tomorrow and pay us again." And suddenly he was upset about that.
Oh, he said, "You won't see me," and then started to leave, and then that's when it escalated. But okay.
Yes, it did. Blimby's like, "It's good to see you again, Selena. But I need to be going. We're supposed to meet ZR over at the brewery over here. But if you see Brownwood, tell her hi for me." And she kind of winks at Selena, and then she heads out of the garrison and starts heading down the street. to this building right here.
The captain, interesting town.
If you
Obviously,
say
I don't
so.
know the den. Thanks again. I am in your debt. Of just being
we are
here.
just doing our job. However, hopefully Blinby is not up to her old tricks again.
I think this is a temporary. We will be out of town quickly.
Make sure of it.
Gladly.
You guys head down. The brewery is literally the building over from the garrison. This is a much bigger place. It's a tavern and a brewery. Entering in the building, the big place the first start where you come into is sort of the common room of the tavern room, but you can see sort of an opening that leads back into clearly the main brewery and all the stuff that's in there. Sitting at a table in there is Zior. As you saw, he came in. He was coming down the street and he got you guys. And behind the bar is a where is he? A rather heavy-set man with thick black hair and a beard to match. He looks up at you guys enter, and he kind of gives all of you kind of a look because it's only, it's only about 7 or so in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. So he's a little confused.
I'm here to drink.
I mean, they're open, but he's confused a little bit.
I'm here to drink heavily.
He's like, all right, I can understand that, I think. It is God's day after all.
Indeed.
Let's drink to the gods. Piston's my name. What can I do? What can I get for you? We got 6 different kinds of ale here.
6?
2 types of rum.
Wow.
And a whiskey.
I've never seen this much variety in one location in Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, he's a brewer, so.
Yeah, I know. This is great.
Actually, Biston's saying that.
Microbrew.
And then from outside, from the spot in the brewery, through the door comes a dwarf who walks in and says, "What's all the shouting about out here?" "Oh, customers. Sorry, carry on."
I'm here to drink heavily.
Fair enough. Drink your fill. I recommend the Pilsner. It's fresh.
I'll start with that.
Pilsner's not very good, but whatever.
I'm gonna start with it anyways.
All right, so you get a beer. Blinby heads over and sits down next to Zior, and she's like, "Did you get it? You have the stuff for us? We need to get out of here. My friends here made a miscalculation, and now we're potentially gonna have a confrontation with them." And Zior kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, "Yeah, I got your stuff. Here." And he slides over a paper to you. And she kind of unrolls it and she's like, she looks at him for a second. She looks down again and she looks at him for a second. She says, "You named it the Widowmaker?"
Perfect.
He's like, "You didn't give me a name. What else was I going to pick? You guys are going to make my wife a widow soon enough, so what the hell? Seemed like the appropriate name. Now we have to put the Widowmaker on the side of this thing?
It's going to take forever to write that out.
Bring the ship
gonna
by.
have a good tail around it.
Bring the ship by. Bring the ship by as soon as you can. I'll get some paint out, and I'll put it on.
Let's just call it the waffle.
It's too late. It's called the Widowmaker in the writ.
Yeah, we should have said that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
She
But
looks.
like I said,
She looks
we
at
didn't
it,
have
like,
to name it originally.
"Whatever. Fine." She looks at you two. She says, "We need to get out of here. I don't want to have to deal
Agreed.
with Elazar any more than I have to."
Hold on. I'm
Drinking your beer. All
Drinking
right.
the Pilsner, you know?
You drink your beer, which costs you 3 copper, by the way.
It's less than the
stout.
Than the stout, yeah.
Well,
So-
this actually isn't watered down though. It's 3 copper.
Yeah, I
not
know, it's
watered down.
great.
You look
I'm
at
really,
it, and
I'm getting a lot of value out of this.
You actually ask about the stout, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the stout. That'll run you a full silver if you want to have some of that."
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I see how they do their business now.
You should. Do you like the Piston's like? Do you like it?
I love it. It tastes pretty great. I might need something a little
Galthar,
stronger.
one of the
though.
idiots likes your Pilsner. The dwarf comes back to the thing. He's like, that Pilsner's pretty damn good, eh? Don't you be knocking it. They sell that in Mirabelle. And if you want to stay employed, you'll shut the hell up, Biston. Oh, I'm just making jokes. Sorry.
Finest Pilsner I've had.
Good. Probably the only Pilsner you've had.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Iylis is just now getting into drinking.
Come back later. We've got a few more things to try. And Blimby's like, no, he won't be coming back because
I'll come back.
we got to get back to our ship. Let's go.
Fine. I finish my drink and go.
Biston's like, see ya. Tell your mom to stay at home next time. Blimby kind of just stares daggers at him as she leaves the place. And she hustles you guys out of town as quickly as she can.
Gladly. I'm double timing it.
You are unaccosted on the way out. And start taking.
I was having a good time.
And start taking the road back to the cove.
So he's the crime boss in town now.
Seems like it. He did take over for the smugglers, or at least he was the ringleader that ousted me when they weren't happy with the way it was going. It's not my fault the Navy decided that they were going to step up their patrols in the area.
So,
and the damn pirate king, the damn captain's table wouldn't send anything through us anymore. Irritates me.
To make new contacts.
As you were heading out of town, Marcus,
my mistake. Yes.
You notice the naval vessel sailing out of the bay.
Did you have something to do with that, Blimby?
No.
Thank you.
No, I had nothing to do with that. They must have. Maybe they were just here for a little bit. I never got a chance to really, as Elazar was at the frickin' Barnacle, I never had a chance to talk with any of the people there to see what was going on. But maybe they were just here for the day, or maybe they were getting supplies or something. It happens.
So I assume Elazar is someone with a long memory.
Well, I left here 5 years ago. What just happened?
So sooner rather than later, not this trip, we'll have to think something. Or maybe never come back here.
So you guys get to about here, and Blimby then takes you off the path. And she takes you to a spot where you're literally looking right over down the cleft into the ship.
Okay.
And then she looks around for a little bit, and she's like, oh, well, at least the stairs are still here. We probably could have used those on the way up. I didn't even think about it until on the way back. And you find some sort of rickety, semi-rotten stairs that kind of lead down into the cleft. Do you want to try them, or what do you want to do? Do you just want to shout down to the ship? What do you want to do?
No, try the stairs.
Give it a shot.
All right. Each one of you give me an athletics check as you go down, or acrobatics, your choice.
That's only 3 ones in this session. That's not bad at all. Because it has.
So Blimby starts going down. She gets down a little ways, and then Marcus, you take one step on the first step and literally just go straight through it. And break the stairs there, and catch yourself though. But the top step is totally broken at this point.
Yep. Well,
Iylis, if you wish to continue to go down it, you'll have to give me a different acrobatics check.
Oh man, that's not fair.
Marcus went first, so he broke the top stairs.
Yep.
Otherwise, you guys can shout to the ship and see if you can get a rope up.
I'll give it a shot. And I'm so good. I'm literally the best. I do cartwheels down the stairs.
Walks over, just kind of takes a little bit of a move over and avoids that step entirely, goes straight down the thing and makes it to the bottom relatively quickly, right behind Blindy.
These stairs are great.
Yeah.
They hold me up pretty well.
Marcus,
Just that first stair, I guess.
What's your passive perception, Mark?
It is 13.
You notice that there are some semi-long kind of scrapes in the cliff top, like in the grass, about 6 feet apart, that scrape for a little bit and then kind of lift up. They scrape for like maybe 3 or 4 feet. As you're kind of just standing there looking at you.
Let me see if I have survival. I don't, but I could still probably.
You can investigate if you'd like.
You could also
investigation.
point it out to me.
Investigating it. No,
well, you're already down the hill.
Oh, true.
Actually, I'd rather do survival if I can. I at least have a +1 on that.
No, you're trying to look at these over. That's
okay, so it is
actually
investigation.
an investigation. Trying to figure out more about these things.
Invest your gator.
Yep, no idea.
You're not sure. I mean, they're whatever it is. It's too wide apart to be like
oh, okay. That's good. Sorry.
It's too wide apart to be a wagon or anything like that. Plus, they kind of lift up. So, like, it drags and kind of deep and then gets less and less deep, and that's all you can kind of figure out about it.
It's not like a ship where it's a sheer cliff.
Yeah, there's a cliff straight down. This was starting at the edge of the cliff and goes for about, 6-7 feet.
Okay.
From the edge of the cliff. Those of you on the ship, you start seeing people come down the cliffside. Especially after you hear the crack of Marcus breaking the top stair.
Yeah.
We will skip forward and say at some point you get Marcus down there. Whether it's via rope.
Yeah, I don't even have rope on my character sheet, so.
And now everybody's aboard ship. What are you guys doing?
I assume they relay us.
Having a party.
Yeah, so I've managed to piss off the local crime lord who already has a history there. So I probably would not be going on shore anytime soon.
I think they know that we have money.
Well, they do know that.
Yeah, you're not sure how they figured that out, Iylis.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mention that.
Couldn't tell you.
But so should I stay out of town while the ship is fixed? What are we going to do? Because it seems like if I stay with the garrison, I might even be better.
True is like, well, we need to get the pirates. I mean, aren't we going to take the pirates in for the bounty? We kind of need to do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, you can. It's just I don't think
we can just leave Iylis and.
Or actually,
we're going to take the ship around, right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to take the ship.
I mean, you could start doing that and discuss things.
I only cast a couple.
I thought we would. Sorry, we're definitely.
Right, so somebody give me another water vehicles, intelligence water vehicles.
I'll do assistance because that's all I'm good for. Can roll.
It'll be Rhux.
As you start to sail out from the thing and try to get back out of the stove and out of the rocks.
Right.
What is it? A what?
Click the button.
Intelligence. Water vehicle.
I mean, I have a -1 intelligence or +0 intelligence, but it's fine.
Wait, hold on. I have more than that. I have +2.
I really don't know how to drive this thing.
Okay, so Hylough starts trying to take it out, and you basically ram it into the rocks, and it's now stuck on the reef.
I didn't know that I had to wait.
Okay, I'm doing this.
No,
Get
it's
out of
too
the
late.
way.
You are stuck on the reef.
Sorry. I didn't know that. But by rolling first,
let's not roll anymore until we know who's going to roll it.
All right. Sorry.
Don't roll. If I see a roll on there, I'm going to take it as the person who's doing it.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't know that was the way it worked.
Yes, it's the way it's been working.
You got us stuck. All right. How can we get
And you are
unstuck?
taking on water.
Okay.
At that amount,
I'm going to go down and try to start repairing.
Below that you are stuck on the reef, taking on water.
Wow.
Okay, so let's go repair the hull.
Yeah,
first.
It's my job.
We'll try to, yeah.
And then we gotta get ourselves off the reef somehow, and maybe I can do some
slowly
some blowing spells.
So who is going to fix it? Whoever's doing that, give me an athletics check. Or a
Okay,
strength check,
I have
your
a plus
choice.
2 on athletics. Although I'm rolling crap. Is anyone who did that?
I think Hylough needs to be on repairs.
I was trying to.
I shall assist.
It's Hylough. You're trying to get the wood on there, but it's just you're not able to get it on, hold it on there. There's water coming in so fast. I mean,
All right, so I will. Yeah,
your ship literally has like 40 hit points, right?
Oof.
Like I said, I've got plus 2. Would someone like to assist me, or does someone else have a better athletics?
I will assist you. Although I'm pretty sure I also have better athletics.
Then you do it because my rolls are horrible. It's only 2 1s this session.
Keep in mind that I have +5 on athletics, but I rolled a 4. So, I mean, that's the reason why I went ahead and did it.
I'm rolling with assistance from Marcus.
All right, so you guys are able to plug the hole from the inside, all the while Scabs is like, "You guys are gonna kill us all. We're gonna drown down here. Let us out! Let us out!"
Shut up.
But you're able to do it even with that going on.
Good. All right.
I assume that part of the helping here is that somebody's manning the bilges and is trying to pump it out.
That'll be what I'm
we got to bucket water out.
Yep. So you guys are pumping it out, but you're still stuck on the reef.
Yeah. Is there any way I can use some gusting spells to get us off the reef?
You can try that. You can also try to just get a rope on a rowboat and try to pull the rowboat.
Rhux can swim pretty well, so can Rhux try to push it?
Probably bigger than that.
You could try.
But that we could get you pushing and us in the rowboats.
You can try that.
So
if you get a 20, you can do anything.
That's true. That's accurate.
But let's try to do it the best way, which would be maybe Rhux pushes, we'll be in the rowboat to try to pull it off. So that would be like hopefully advantage on the roll to get it off.
Yeah, you can. All right, so you guys give me an athletics. Who's ever your main point of contact is for this, give me an athletics check.
I mean,
you'll have advantage.
Hylough's got the +5.
So does Rhux. But he rolled a 5. Let's go.
Whoa.
You guys push, and it just doesn't budge.
Can I try and do some spelly things?
If you wish to add a gust to it, you can do so, which will allow Rhux to make 1 reroll without advantage.
Oh,
do that.
Oof.
Great.
I believe in you. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, heave.
Does this program have an issue tonight? Because these rolls make no sense.
You guys are stuck on this reef. You spend the next 3 hours trying to get yourselves off of it, and the sun starts to go down.
Oh no. We're wasting time.
Stuck on the reef.
We can't stay stuck on the reef. We've got a storm coming. This is not.
Well, the storm is just now starting.
No.
And you're stuck.
I guess we have to go back to the cove, right? I mean,
well, you're stuck on the reef. Your ship is not going anywhere without you trying to get it off. So you can try to do another strength check.
Keep trying again.
Right. I'll do another strength check.
A failure of a 1 means you lost.
Yeah,
like
maybe
3 hours
I should do it. I've been rolling well.
Well, I mean, whoever's got the advantage, the best +5, like Rhux is fine.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a +5. I rolled.
I know it's just rolling crap.
Hylough rolled well.
I'm all about that, man. I've got good stats
right,
and roll crap.
You guys spend another half an hour and finally get it off of the reef. But the sun has went down.
It, yeah.
I got you on it, and I got you off of it.
And the rain is starting to come down pretty fast.
We need to get back into the cave.
So you either need to get out or get into the cove, into the cleft. Your choice.
Well, the problem was, didn't somebody see something last night? Yeah.
I think we get out.
I think we need to get out and try to get to the dock.
We're going to sail into the storm, which is going to be really heavy in a damaged ship.
Yep.
That seems insane.
Well, we got ourselves stuck in the
Well,
reef,
it's a repaired damaged
smart idea.
ship.
It's sort of repaired. Your ship is barely seaworthy at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
On the hands.
Let's go into the cove. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know.
So does somebody need to tell us?
Do you want to ask that question so that I can roll a d20? What's the worst that can happen? You're lucky you didn't get a 1.
I think I should be able to lay my hands on the ship.
So you sail it back into the cove. That's fine. Into the cleft. The difficult problem is to get into the.
Yeah.
is to get through the rocks. It's not to get into the cleft. So there's no need to roll for that.
Okay, got it.
You guys get into there, and the wind has been picking up while you get back into there, and the rain starts coming down pretty heavily. The ship is taking on water. I mean, your patch only is working so well, so somebody's going to have to man
we got a bucket.
the pumps all night.
Pump it
to make this so the ship doesn't sink. I mean, you can do it.
All right. Well, we can just do it on our watches as well.
Start.
Like whoever the second person is on the watch can.
Well, you're gonna need 2 people. There's 2 pumps. You're gonna need them both.
Oh, okay.
So 2 people per watch will be fine.
Well, can we do any further repairs now that we're not trying to sail?
You can only repair it so much. Like you have to get on the outside under the water. You know, given the hole that you guys just put in it on the reef, you're gonna have to bring it up onto a dry dock to fix this thing to fix it correctly. Right now, this is just something to keep the water from gushing fully in.
I'm back. Sorry, what did I miss?
No,
we got into the port, right?
We're taking on water.
We got into the cove.
Yeah, you got into the cove. That's not a problem. Brian was just asking if you can permanently fix it now, and it's like, no, you ran into a reef. The outside of the ship is broken.
Permanently fix it right now, but can't we do anything to further to slow the water at any make it?
Well, as long as we do the bilging.
Yeah, you're just pumping it out. Like there's basically you put wood over top of a hole. So you've put planks over top of that hole. You've tarred it up a little bit, but water is still coming through there. It's not coming through there in a big gush, which would cause you to just sink within 15 minutes. It's coming through in enough of a trickle, though, that if you don't pump out the bottom, you will slowly sink. By the time the morning comes, you'll probably be on the bottom of whatever the depth of this cleft is, which is 5 or 6 feet. It's not like the ship is gonna, be fully underwater.
But we can't sail with.
However, your pirates in your bilge will be drowned.
Yeah,
that's what I'm not as worried about. But we can't.
And you're correct. You won't be able to sail out of the cove. It'll be
we lose the ship essentially.
It's that kind of leak. I mean, very clearly, Magellan's ships made it around the world, and they were bailing constantly 24/7 for the last 18 days of the voyage. But they made it to the.
I think port. All sailing vessels leaked. It's just that's why they had pumps to build it out.
Mm-hmm. It's now leaking faster than you would like. Leaking fast enough that you need to keep permanently taking out the water for now.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Marcus is going to go below deck and just get a long rest because he's done.
We'll set up watches without you, Marcus.
He's the first 2 doing.
I can watch now.
I'll be on first.
Well, the watch includes pumping.
Oh, I can pump. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you can't pump. I mean, the pumping is probably below deck.
Yes.
You can't watch.
You can't do the watch and be doing the pumping.
Okay.
You guys are going to need 3 people to do this.
Okay.
3 people per watch.
Can we get some of our crew?
Some other people will help.
I will do the pumping because I've had such a wonderful day. This can only make it better. So Marcus will pump.
I'll watch first.
Okay. Dres is watching. Marcus is pumping. Who's your third? Who's your second pumper?
I'm pumping.
Hylough. All right. You guys make it through the first third of the night with no issues. The storm is raging above. You can hear it. Thunder, lightning. The person who's on watch on the above, kind of having a tarp over top of them and looking out from the steps and things like that, occasionally checking. Lightning is flashing in the sky. It's a pretty nasty one. Dresd'a, since you're doing the watch, you notice that less than an hour into your watch, True just walks right past you and just walks onto the center of the deck and just starts looking up and closes her eyes, puts her hands out, and it looks like she's praying, getting drenched. And she does that for the better part of an hour before she kind of walks back in and goes back under the deck.
Okay.
She loves a rainy night.
Who's on second watch and pump duty?
I'll be the watcher.
So
Rhux will pump.
Rhux is pumping.
remember, this is a
I
hard
can
task.
pump as well.
That's what legends are made of. That you will keep us alive. It's all on you. And I'll do my bardic inspiration.
Legends
Maybe
of
half
pump.
of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to give it anything
Rhux is
for
watching. Who was pumping? No.
Me.
Iylis is pumping. Blim B is pumping for the second
Can
one.
I give bardic to do anything with this?
Not really.
Okay. Not even half for like the ship. At one point, you let me give half for bardic and cut it in half. But okay.
Cut what in half? I mean, they're just pumping
roll.
they're just
I know.
pumping for 3
I know.
hours.
Like I said, I'm just trying to do whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Again, nothing really happens. Lots of rain, lots of thunder and lightning. But for the watch up on top, nothing really is going on. Now down below, Iylis, Scabs and those guys are pretty much complaining the whole time. Like they're giving you guys what for about, you guys are gonna get us killed. You should have just died when we tried to kill you out on the thing. You should have just stayed in the shoals.
And we're gonna gag you guys if you don't shut up.
Well, hang on. Is there any way we can make them pump?
No.
If you want to release their manacles, sure.
Oh, I didn't know if there was a way to make them pump while they're tied up.
No.
This way, if they drown, it's their own damn fault.
No, they're so I would be careful saying that right now, Dresd'a, because the only way you're going to fix the ship is if you get their bounties. The amount of damage is done on this ship right now. You guys don't have enough money to fix it.
Oh.
Not currently.
Oh. Oh no. Oh
So
no.
I would make
no,
sure that you
no,
want to
no,
keep
no,
them
no.
alive at this point. All right.
Is the bounty dead or alive?
I don't know. No one checked that while they were there. Third watch. Who's pumping?
What's wrong with you
Who's
guys?
watching?
I'm gonna watch.
Praedyth's watching.
If nobody's pumping, I can get back up and pump.
True is
some
going to
more.
pump.
No, I'll pump.
And you're all right. So Aaron's pumping. All right. You guys make it through the night. However, anyone who did a pump turn does not get a long rest because that is considered an exertion task, and you do not get a long rest because.
Well,
do we get a short rest?
We don't get a long rest.
Get a long rest. You can do a
Okay.
short rest. Yes, I will give you a short
Can we
rest.
do two
I
short
thought we
rests?
had 3 different moves, so wouldn't it be just like watching?
Nope. You do not get a long rest if you pumped.
I kind of suspected this. It's a
okay.
physical activity.
It's a physical activity.
Right, but you still have
No.
8 hours.
If you do any physical activity during the long rest, you do not get a long rest.
Okay. I am going to stay in bed for the first early morning to get the long rest.
That's why I was asking Marcus if you wanted to
I
pump.
just assumed because like you could do watches, which you
It's just
can
not
move
physical
around and
activity.
do that.
That's just sitting there watching
Okay.
and doing things like that.
I
It's not a
didn't.
physical activity.
We let Marcus sleep in.
All right. You guys, the storm is still raging outside. What do you guys want to do?
Well, nothing we can do. We gotta wait, right? Wait the storm out.
I mean, you don't have to wait the storm out. You can try to go out if you want.
How bad?
We could have done it last night too, but we chose to.
Well, it was dark last night. That would be a little bit different. But it's up to you guys. What do you want to do?
How bad is it?
It's a thunderstorm. Think of it as a thunderstorm with probably about 2 inches of rain an hour. So.
Oh, that's a lot of rain. Let's wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we wait it out. Keep pumping.
You guys wait a couple more hours, continuing to pump, and the storm starts to slightly subside. It's now more of a the lightning starts to go away. The thunder goes away. It's not a torrential downpour or anything like that, but it is still raining.
It's less of a squall.
Yeah, it's more of a squall than it is a storm.
I guess so.
What do you guys want to do?
I guess we try to make our way
I'm gonna
out.
finish my long rest, I guess. So I didn't say a word until now. I mean, I guess we do the same thing, right?
Yeah, well,
Wait until the morning.
But we kind of need to make our way out and over to the docks if we can.
Well, is this the next morning, or this is the
noon
night
of the
of
30th.
of the storm?
Yes.
The storm is lessening up, though.
Yes, I just said it's not a storm; it's more of a squall. It's raining, but it's not lightning. It's not thunder anymore. It's still raining, though.
Can we see? Well, the storm was pretty big. Does our weather mage sense that it's going to keep getting less?
He has no idea. He can sense when they're coming, not when they're leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not too precise with it.
We're probably better off if we can get there sooner, but
it is. I think we should take this opportunity when it is.
Rat
we should go.
Talks to you guys, and he's like, "Hey, whenever we have to go through some really, really bad shoals, we just put a rowboat out there, and he kind of pulls them along and follow what they say. They kind of sound it."
Yeah, we'll do that. We should get moving.
Oh, we rolled a 1, didn't we? I don't get mattered.
No, you didn't roll a 1.
Oh, I thought we rolled a 1 to get on the shoals.
No.
We rolled like a 6.
High roll load got a 7.
Oh, okay.
The DC to get out is a 14. If you fail it by 5 or more, you hit the reef and are stuck on it.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that then.
However,
Sounds
it's
like
now
a
raining,
smart
so it's a
plan.
little bit worse than that.
Yeah, I figured it would.
But
Yeah, it's kind of harder to see
But the rowboat sounding and stuff like that actually gives you a bonus to it.
Okay.
Can I give Bardic Inspiration to this, the sailing part, especially over the when it
Does
comes
Bardic
to the
Inspiration work on a skill check?
I believe it does, actually.
If it does, you can. I mean, I'm not saying you can't.
Let me look. I thought that was one of the things.
It might be like, remember, certain bards have different things. That's the reason why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm not the bard that gives. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a second because I got to.
No, it's all good. So you guys unlimber out the rowboat. Who's going to be in the rowboat?
I think I'm going to pilot the ship.
So in the next 10 minutes, you can roll a die and add the number roll to one ability check, attack, or saving throw it makes.
Okay. Who's in the rowboat?
I'll do it.
Who's ever in the rowboat needs to give me a.
I'll do a rowboat.
A perception check.
Only Rhux will probably go.
Only one person.
I will do that. I have a +4.
Okay.
I will do that.
One person's rowing, one person's checking. So who's ever checking gives me the perception check.
I will row.
Can we have 2 people row the boat and one to give them an advantage?
There is no advantage on the rowboat part.
But we can get 3 people on the boat. Doesn't matter. Okay.
All right. So Aaron, you're calling out various spots. All right. Give me a who's piloting the ship.
Me?
And I would suggest that who's ever piloting the ship is now whoever is going to be piloting the ship whenever I call for ship maneuver rolls.
All right. Okay. Who has the
role? Yeah.
Who has the highest intelligence?
Well, it's the transport familiarity, right? You got to have the vehicle and the intelligence.
Vehicle just gives you a proficiency bonus. That's all it does.
Well, I mean, but that's still +2. So
right. But if somebody has a +5 intelligence but doesn't have the vehicle thing, and the person who has the vehicle thing only has a +1 intelligence, well, then the +5 is still better.
Yeah,
is the answer to your question.
Got a +3 intelligence.
I have a +2.
Do you have vehicles?
Don't believe.
Rhux says +0, but he has vehicles.
Yeah, but I think
Praedyth should be.
What does Hylough have?
Driver.
I have +1 intelligence. I have vehicles, which gives me a proficiency, which I didn't even add. I didn't add that to my 7 roll, so that would have been 9.
It still would have been put you on the roof, unfortunately.
So
if you missed by 5, you would be on the roof.
Hylough's got a +3 net, and somebody else had a +3 net.
Praedyth does. I think we should have Praedyth.
Okay, Praedyth does it because Hylough ran us to the.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to take the heat.
Hylough can help.
Roll with advantage.
Action.
And you get a plus. Roll with advantage.
It's a straight intelligence check?
Yes. And unfortunately, because Aaron didn't do well enough, you do not get a bonus to the roll. An extra bonus.
Doesn't matter.
I nailed it.
But
let's go.
You nail it. Because it was raining, the DC was actually a 15. But you're able to overcome the fact that Aaron missed a couple of the rocks because the rowboat doesn't go as low. And you start to hear a scrape along the side, and you're able to direct them to go the other direction. And you guys are outside of the reef into open water again and are able to start sailing around, which takes you a couple of hours.
I have a question. With taking now my little role as the person who drives the ship, would I be able to train myself into vehicle proficiency?
Someone is already sort of doing that by the name of Iylis, because he's already got 10 points in it. And because you have because you gained a 20 on that, you can put down that you have 8 points towards learning water vehicles.
Okay.
And so by about 2:30 in the afternoon, you guys pull in to port. And put a ship on here.
So we're not really disguising the name of the ship because
it's a tiny ship.
It's so tiny.
But Blindy directs you here, which is where I have to use a 1, and this thing is stupid. It doesn't take into account size when you bring it in.
Any scale at all.
Yeah, it doesn't take into account. Hey, this thing is
so funny.
Size X, and so it just automatically keeps the same thing. So here's your ship is a little bit bigger now. All right, so you guys come on over to the shipwright, and Blinby directs you to there. Unfortunately, when you get there, Zior looks it over, and he's like, "The hell did you do this poor ship?"
Well,
we're gonna have to pull this thing up into dry dock to fix this.
Yeah, we understand that.
It's going to cost, upwards of 300 gold to fix, guys.
Well, we can definitely pool our resources.
Did we have that much? I don't know if we had that.
We have at least.
We have to get the bounties.
We don't know how much the bounties are going to be.
You don't currently know how much the bounties are, but you don't have that much currently. That doesn't mean that you might not have it after those bounties.
Yeah.
Can we give you half up front?
Why don't we go turn in the bounties?
Well, he's going to expect. He says, I expect a third of it up front.
A third
to start paying for materials and things like that. So he's getting 100 gold up front.
Okay. Well, I can pull that. I can pull some of mine. I have like 47.
All right, so you're almost there. Is anybody? What are you guys doing now that he's starting to get it set up so that you can pull the ship up onto dry dock, but you guys have stuff in the hold and things like that. So you're not going to be able to be on the ship while they're fixing it.
So as a group, I've got us marked down. We have 60 gold left as a group.
You have 60 gold left.
So that's in the group fund.
Yeah, that's the group fund, though, so you can just add 40.
I can add my
if we add 40. We
40.
do 60, then we have the down payment.
Cool.
For the
I can do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
I will do that.
So let's note that.
I am noting that.
I was going to say.
And I took the 60 gold off my little sheet.
I took the 40 gold off my little sheet.
60 plus 40 from Iylis to make the down payment on the ship repairs. Yep, the ship spoke.
Look there. It's got a little.
All right, so you guys all get off the ship and you take your prisoners off, as well as all of the crew. So all the crew is now off the ship. What are you guys doing? Including your prisoners.
The prisoner's going to go straight to the garrison.
Like, who the? He's like, I know that guy. You have scabs? But he says to you guys, it's like, I think he's worth a decent amount in the bounty board. You should go check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
That's what we're heading to do.
The plan.
All right. So you guys start marching them to the garrison.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how much. It's still raining, by the way. It's now more of a light drizzle than an actual heavy rain, though. And you can see to the west, you can see that the clouds are starting to break up a little bit out there into the west as you were sailing around. So you expect this not to last too much longer. Someone was going to ask a question. Sorry.
I was going to ask if we could leave, the people who have already been here at the ship repair place.
Yeah, the ones that will attract attention. Blimby and Marcus and Iylis, yes. They need to kind of sort of hide in the corner or something.
What are you talking about?
In the waiting room. You got to stay in the waiting room.
Well, I wanted to come with.
ZR's like, I'm not putting up 3 people for 3 days. It's going to take 3 days to
No.
fix this,
Just until the cover of darkness and then get out of here. We don't want them to be marching around.
What? I'm being grounded.
Well, no, if he doesn't have a spot,
I was just helping out Marcus.
I mean,
Like, just stay in the waiting room and eat from the vending machines, and then we'll.
What's a vending machine?
I mean, they can stay in the dry dock until nightfall, but I don't have a spot for them.
Yeah. No, can we be in the ship?
No, you can't be in the ship.
Okay, well, where are the prisoners then?
They've taken them off the ship. There's literally nobody on the ship right now, except for Zior's guys who are fitting everything in and they're starting to pull it up this thing here. So the ship is literally at the end of this, and it's being pulled up it on rollers and stuff. So it's going to take them the better time. They're probably just going to get the ship into the dry dock by nightfall. At this rate, it's going to take.
Got it.
But once it's in there, and you see it barely fit in underneath the top of the warehouse as you guys watch it. What are the rest of you guys doing since Marcus, Iylis, and Blimby are stuck in shipwright jail?
And we're moving the prisoners to the garrisons.
Yeah, we're getting the bounty stuff.
All right, so
we're
you
moving
guys
them to the garrison as quickly as possible. Yes, not gonna mess around here.
All right, so
no dilly-dally.
You march them to the garrison. I would give them 2 attempts at trying to thinking about getting out. And they at one point, Scabs tries to make a break for it and trips and falls on his face.
So is that a?
I'll hold on to him tightly then.
So I do 2 things. I do a 1 means something happens in a bad way.
Right.
20 means something happens but in a good way, or helps you in some fashion.
Okay.
So
I'll hold on to Scabs tightly.
So if on a random sort of thing, if you get a 1 or a 20, there's a 10% chance something will happen. But a 1 is it will be bad for you. A 20 means it will be helpful in some fashion. For instance, the night you guys saw something on the ship was helpful, but you just don't know why yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
That's cryptic.
Yeah. You guys make it to the garrison. Cool. It doesn't take you too long. Like, this is, maybe 15, 20 minutes to get up to here. You kind of drag them into the thing. Scabs is complaining the whole time, and he gets in there and he starts trying out. He's like, "These guys are pirates with us. They were taking the ships with us." He's like trying to shout things out. And you see Captain Selena Lebevic come out, and she looks at you guys and she's like, "Can I help you? Why is this man shouting in my courtyard?"
Yes, hello. We are turning over to you some pirates.
I see. Liam, go get the ledger. And you see a guy who looks like he's a lieutenant. He's got the bars of a lieutenant on his thing. He looks up and he's like, "Yes'm." And he slowly gets up and turns and slowly walks into the thing. You see Selena just slightly shake her head. So who do you have? What rapscallions am I putting into my my brig or my jail?
Well, Captain, we have Scabs.
You got to give him an actual introduction, like the infamous Scabs or something like that. Make it a little more interesting.
Mad Dog Spotswood.
Scabs.
Is that true? And True says, "Yes, it is correct, and yes, my name is True." No, that's not what she says. True stayed back with Blimby and Marcus. She's like, "Really, you have the infamous boatswain of the Defiant. Good catch. I assume this is some of his members?"
Yes.
And Liam finally gets out there and gives her the ledger, and she looks it up. Ah, scabs, you're worth 150 on the bounty market. Good on you.
Nice.
We have Khan, Galt, Lys, Sefu, and what's his last name? Trek. So you have 5 others of them. What about the other 3 guys that were the original Sea Spray?
Well,
guys?
didn't we say we were going to set them free?
You said 2 of them, but I don't know about the third one.
Well, I guess the 2 will set free, like we promised.
All right, so you guys, as you're leaving, you basically say you're on your own?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, all right, so they
Well,
hustle off.
They
don't ask 2 questions. They hustle off. They're like, we're going to figure out what we're going to do. And you don't see them as you're kind of continuing to take them up. The third one, what are you doing with him?
I don't know.
You can let him go too. I'm just.
What do you guys think we should do?
Why would we not let him go? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one that actually participated and was attacking.
Loot the body.
No.
We could take his money and
their stuff.
No, let's just let him go.
All right,
yeah, we'll let him go.
You let those 3 go.
Yeah.
All right. And so she's like, all right, well, for these 5, that's another 25 gold apiece. So we owe you 275 gold.
All right.
Cha-ching.
She heads into the thing by herself. All right, she says, Liam, lock these men up and women. And so they start taking them into the jail, and she heads into into one of the main guardhouse and comes back out, and she's like, she hands Aaron you a purse. She says, well, this is all we have here. We're gonna have to send someone to Mirabelle to get the rest of it, but here's 100 gold to start. It'll take a couple of days. We'll have to send the man tomorrow on horseback. He'll probably be back the following day with the rest of your money. So we still owe you 175.
All right.
Acceptable?
Yes.
You need to stay somewhere. If you head straight down the street over there, you can stay at the Northwest. Just tell Bello you're here for a few days, and he might give you a discount for a few days.
All right.
If you head back down along the way you came, there's a nice tavern and brewery over here, Tyrok's. Otherwise, it's not a very large town. I'm pretty sure you can find your way around.
Yes, thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a couple days.
Money.
Fair enough.
And we head out.
All right, you guys head out. Do you head back to the shipwright, or do you go? Where do you head next?
Probably back to the shipwright to collect
your other
fellows.
What time is it?
But yeah, we got a couple days away here.
Yeah. Well, by the time you get back to the shipwright, oops. Oh, I didn't resolve a combat. End that. That's interesting. By the time you get back to the shipwright, it's about 3 in the afternoon, 3:15, something like that. So you pick them up. Like, it's still the rain has kind of stopped for the most part. You now see sort of the scud clouds and that sort of stuff kind of coming through. You can just start to see some clearer sky, some clearing sky to the west. You pick up the rest of them. You guys want to, like, it's not dark yet, but what do you guys want to do?
Check in to the hotel.
Yeah,
go get some rooms.
All right, so
actually pay for them, Blimby.
Everybody heads to the northwest is where.
And then we can get some stuff at the little market there and get some.
Yeah, let's get some fish. Let's get some fish from the fish market.
I think I want some beef.
What are you doing first?
Okay, let's
focus what we're doing. What are you doing first?
Let's go get rooms first, so we can put away some things.
Ask a question real fast.
Yeah.
Am I still on the ship? Because I'm okay with that. I just want to know.
You're not on the ship.
No,
the ship is literally on dry dock. No one is on the ship.
I'm with it. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, we
don't have to
buy the ship.
Away. That's why I asked.
Zior literally said no one can be on the ship while they're fixing it.
I stepped away. That's why.
It makes it too heavy.
We're all
pull.
going to that tavern place.
So if we show we have money, it's not going to go well for us. So we go buying everything.
That's why I was thinking we'd just do that on our way out.
Well, I was kind of hoping you guys would stop by the inn on your way here and go ahead and get the rooms.
With what money?
With the money that they just got.
Yeah, we just got 100 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're set to get like 175 more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's going to be in a couple days, though.
Okay.
Well, I will cast change when I get into that. I will change my. Appearance.
Oh, I can cast invisibility.
I don't need that. I can just change appearance.
No, I mean,
and I'm going to be out, stay in back as much as I can.
Well, if we're having Blinby and Iylis, though, that doesn't really matter.
I can twin my invisibility spell and put it on me and Blinby.
Okay, that'll work.
All right.
Hold on.
Need to cast it.
Let's do that, and then
magic.
That.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right. That will last for an hour. It's about 20 minutes to get to the inn, so it's fine. Marcus, you're same thing with your disguised self. It's about
I'm going to get in the room and scheme. In other words, don't come out. Hide.
So you guys head to the northwest. Coming inside there, Bello, the old Bello guy, is like, it looks at you guys because he doesn't recognize any of you. Because he doesn't see two of you, and the other one is disguised. He's like, "May I help you? Do you need rooms for the evening?"
Yes.
All right. How many are there? How many rooms do you need?
Go, give me a second.
Be
quiet, Blimby.
2 rooms, one for the women, or women, a woman.
Well,
what woman?
True is there. I mean, True. So there's the 7 of you. There's True. There is Blinby, and there is Rat.
Me and Blimby are invisible, so
so right now it looks like there's only 8 of you.
Well, how many can we fit in one room?
Well, the rooms are big enough for like 3 people.
3. Okay, so we need
3 rooms.
3 rooms.
3. Yeah.
Except that you have 10 people.
Rat's teeny.
Shh. He'll fit in the corner.
2 or 3 of our people are small. We got
Praedyth can sleep in the corner.
All right. He kind of gives you 3 things. It's like, that will be 1.5 gold pieces for the night.
Okay.
1.5. I break a piece in half.
Well, can't we can just do 3 for the 2 nights.
Oh, you're going to be here for 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
What's her face? What's the name?
Lady from the garrison.
The captain of the guard. What? I forgot her name. Yes.
She sent you over here?
Yeah.
Oh.
As we are waiting our bounty for collecting some pirates.
And it will be 2 gold for the 2 nights.
Yeah, okay. Give him the 2 gold for the 2 nights.
All right.
All right. Ching.
And he's like, "This is good for you. We don't have any food or drink. If you wish to have anything to drink, might I suggest the downpour? It is, if you head to the left, then make another left and head down the street, you'll find it. It's not very far away. And if you need any food, well, we can go get you some. Flora, do we have any food?" She's like, "You know damn well we make food for the guests. It's a bed and breakfast. We make the breakfast, remember?" She's like, "Oh yeah, so we do have food. It'll be here in the morning. I believe tomorrow's breakfast is some kind of bread and some cheese. For bread. Dinners, you'll probably be on your own. Although maybe we can find someone to find you something if necessary."
Okay.
Wow, thanks.
Thank you.
Service.
And you guys head to your rooms.
Yeah. We'll stash the 3 non-player characters in one room.
Okay. You're gonna put
and the 7 of us will split
Rat in the same room. Rat's gonna get quite the. Actually, Rat's probably had more action than most of the rest of you guys, but.
No, it's True, Blimby, and Dresd'a.
Praedyth in there too.
I mean, we can let's just do half and half, and
Well, there's 3. You guys have 3 rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the females in one, right?
Drew Blimley and Dresd'a in
Uh-huh.
one.
Oh yeah,
And then
about her.
Forgot about Dresd'a.
Yeah.
It's that Dresd'a player character.
Okay,
And
3
then,
there, and then yeah.
All right.
and then one small person per
One small person.
Yeah,
Well,
one
that's a
small
small
person.
I'll,
per
I'll
room.
share a bed with Rat.
I don't
if he
appreciate being
needs.
reduced to my size.
Well, grow a couple inches.
I would think that Andy's character probably should be one with just 3 since he's a larger.
Well, I mean, remember you have two smaller people, and then
Okay, so
and then 5 larger people. So you could do a room with 2 larger and 2 smaller, and then the other 3.
yeah.
Yes. That's a good idea.
I mean, if we need another room, we can do it. But
Yeah, I mean you can if you want.
Nah, we're fine.
but if people aren't comfortable getting their long rest.
All right, you guys settle into the North Rest. Is there anything you guys want to do the rest of this day?
Go get food.
So, did someone want to explore the lighthouse? Didn't we need to find a wizard? Wasn't that the deal with the lighthouse? That
You have
we
no,
really
you don't have
know?
no
I
idea what the
do
lighthouse is.
There's a
Oh, I
wizard at
thought
the
you told us
lighthouse.
that last time. That
Nope.
Don't
There is a
remember that.
lighthouse. You went by it, and it does. But there is some kind of lighthouse style contraption built around a tower out on an island. That's the best you got. No one's actually spoke to anybody here to know what's going on.
Didn't we see
Okay.
that on the way in?
Yeah, you saw.
So that was player knowledge. It's
Yeah,
not.
that's player knowledge.
Okay, I
That's not-
misunderstood. I apologize.
So, I mean, there is a lighthouse on the island out here that helps you avoid some of these rocks on the way in. And you, as you went by it, it looked odd. It looked like a stone tower with something built on the outside of it that houses the light for the lighthouse. It looked like 2 separate buildings, though. Like it looked like a building built on top of another building. Is what it looked like.
Okay. Well, wouldn't we need a skip to get over there?
But yeah, it's several miles out. Like, I mean, the distance from here to the thing is you'd need like you're correct, like a small sailing vessel or a fisherman to take you out there or something like that. At this point, that is correct.
I got it out.
Well, I guess we should try and find a crew.
How long will it take? I may have missed this. I did step away. How long will it take the ship to be repaired?
3 days.
3 days.
Okay.
The
And 2
damage
days to
on
get
the,
our bounty.
once he got it up on the thing and saw the
Yeah.
exterior damage, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to reform some of the wood for it." So he's literally pulling off the old pieces the first day while he's forming the new pieces
Right.
on his form and pulling off the old pieces on the first day, and then it's going to take 2 days. The second day, he's waiting for the forms to finish, basically. But on the second day, he's going to work on the one room that kind of had a sort of explosion in it. Try to fix that up, at least get it into a more stable state for you.
So you're right. We do need a crew. Maybe Blimmy knows people or that, or we also probably need, if we don't have any plans where to sail to, why not pick up some supplies and be a merchant for a second?
Yeah.
In which case we could
Always down
go
for
ahead
that.
and look for maybe that somebody wants to, who needs some supplies moved.
Yeah.
Blimmy may know who to talk to about that. I don't know. That's just Marcus's thought.
She's like, we could always ask. What's his name? Hold on, I forgot his name. Bralthar, see if he wants to move some of his ale or something someplace further. I guess what she says. Other than that, maybe some of the wood, some of the lumber and stuff from the sawmill might be needed to move. I do know that most of the farms around here are either pineapples or grain or sugar. So we might be able to move some sugar, although it's really early in the year. Like they probably just planted everything. So I don't know if we'd really be able to move much at this point, at least of that sort of commodity.
Well, if we wanted to take something to one of the larger cities, in the larger cities, it'd be easier to pick up cargo to go elsewhere. If we're looking for a larger city, that's kind of where do we want to go next?
Well, we could always just move down to that larger city and then see if there's any contracts there or something.
So is that what we want to do next?
Well, first and foremost, we need a full crew.
Okay.
Do you need? Okay, so let's take a sort of an aside here. So let me bring up the. So if you would go to the ship on the dry dock here and double click on it, you will see the actual sea spray as an actual vehicle. Right now it technically only has 100 hit points because you guys ran into a reef. But from a features standpoint, you have a helm, which has 50 hit points, some sails, which have 100 hit points. And you'll notice that as the sails get destroyed, as they take damage, your ship slows down. You have the 2 ballista that you only have probably about 10 rounds for. So you might want to try to see if you can buy some more ammo for the ballista. We can talk about that. As a ship, though, you have 2 actions that you can do for the ship right now. One action is fire the ballista, which you don't have to do all the time. The other action is move. So as long as you have a crew of 10 or more, you can do both of those actions. As soon as you drop to 9 people on the ship, you can only do one of those actions.
Okay.
All right.
I see.
How many do we have right now?
You currently have yourselves plus 3 more.
We have 8.
So we have 10.
Currently have 10, as long as you're all working. And that also assumes that you guys go to sleep at night. That's the reason why we potentially want more crew members.
I think we could bump it up to 15 so we can have some night watchmen.
Well, yeah, we definitely need to have more.
Now remember,
maybe we don't
that's
need a full
the other
crew,
thing I would say
yeah.
here is that that's crewmen without officers. So
yeah, that too.
So I mean, if you guys wish to be officers, so you don't have to do as much, then you'll need to hire more crew.
And we want to all be officers.
Which is fine. I'm not saying.
Well, we have our sail master.
Well, we probably should have someone who's more accustomed to sailing than us.
Well, so far we have Praedyth as our pilot. Rhux is our sail master.
You got. You could use a.
Rhux
we need a cook.
Yeah, we need a cook.
Definitely could use.
Well, I can be the cook. I didn't do too bad on the.
You need a carpenter of some sort. Rhux is probably your surgeon. You could really use. Well, Hylough's sort of been your carpenter to this point.
Yeah,
he's been trying to. Not doing a bad job. He's doing a good job.
Doing pretty good.
And, he's doing more damage than
a gunner. Like somebody
I could do.
Yeah, Marcus can be our
gunnery guy.
I'll be the botsman.
Remember, you're kind of looking at who you had on the
right
Defiant.
And
so whoever you had on the Defiant was. Give me a second. I can.
We don't really.
Who's captain?
Yeah.
Who's captain?
Whoever's the best sailor.
More of
no, we can't do it.
Communist captain.
So here was what the officers were for the Defiant. There was a captain, there was a first mate, there was a boatswain, and the master at arms, who was Scabs. There was a sailmaster, there was a master gunner, there was a surgeon and carpenter. It was the same person. There was the quartermaster, there was the cook, and then there was the sailmaster.
Okay, so we have sailmaster Iylis.
I'm already the same.
Rhux can also be the carpenter too, with this surgeon carpentry thing.
And then
that is true.
Beyond that, there was 2, 4, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. There was 18 crew members beyond that.
I see.
On the Defiant. But remember, the
Defiant's a bigger vessel, right?
No, it was actually a smaller vessel. But
was it?
But remember, they have people there just for Yeah, in essence, it's Marines. They're trying to take over ships and attack and board and stuff like that. So they have more
What
people.
did the quartermaster do? Like, I don't think we need that, do we?
Well, quartermaster.
Depending on how someone has to negotiate.
Yeah, that's the quartermaster for you guys would be more important when you're docked, in a sense.
Like I could do that
things.
in theory if I'd ever rolled decently.
Yeah.
Well, we could have Marcus. You could be the quartermaster and gunsman person.
I think that's a good choice.
These are all fine. I'm just trying to point out to what sort of things you might have. Is all I'm saying. So if you did that, then that means you probably need to hire about 10 people to be your crew, 10 or more people.
Yeah.
Also, cool. I would say, given our issues with the local mafia
I say we defeat them first.
Hang on. We should not hire as many crew here.
Well,
we hire the ones we need and sail to the south. Maybe take some goods to that larger city and hire them there, where hopefully it's out of the syndicate's reach.
I kind of agree.
We don't need crew yet, so we could just get whatever we need here and then go down to the big city and hire our crew there.
Yeah.
I mean, but if he knows someone,
yeah.
If we can grab a few people, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Again, we're really depending on Blimby. If she knows anyone we can trust and anyone that would want to get out of here, type thing.
She's like, well, there's usually a few people that are on the docks that are wanting to be hired. I can't say that there's a ton. I haven't been here for 5 years, so I don't know how many of them are part of Elazar's group. I think he called themselves the Sessiva or something like that, or something like that. That's what I heard when I left. But Mirabelle is probably about a day or so sailing along the coast, which is the biggest city on North Ferran Island. So it's about a day of sailing thereabouts.
And that shouldn't be a bad sail, right? I mean, at least you see the coastline.
You're going along the coast. Like, if you look at the Sea of Tears map here, let me bring that up.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it's just
you're here. Mirabelle is here. Is here. So it's not very far. And you're just going along the coast, so you're not really going super far. You could also go to Escala. Escala is up here. There's actually here. Let me do this.
Was Escala a big city though? Mirabelle's
no, you went to
city,
Escala.
right?
Remember, you've been to Escala, but you were not let off the ship.
That's right.
So here is all of North Ferran.
There was something going on in Escala.
This is not the right map, but so yeah, you guys are up here in North Ferran, and this is Mirabelle down here. Escala is technically right about here. I have a better map from this. This is an old one.
And there seemed to be something going on in Escala because the captain was there, but we didn't know what. No, maybe it was just meeting of the vessel, or
no, that was down here.
Okay, that was in the same place.
That's Gallenveer Caves, which is way over here. You guys were
we don't want to go
all the way over here, which is technically part of Mergale. All of this is the Mergale League, technically.
Okay.
So what a pirate was doing that deep into the Mergale League? Good questions. Good questions asked. Technically, you got the sea spray up here. Mad Dog continued north. You don't know why. You guys went this way and around to try to get through the wall. And now you're back this way. You guys could all go to... I went back to the Sea of Tears and didn't bring you guys with me. That's why.
I'll just flip it up like, where is it? Oh, Sea of Tears. There we are.
Yeah, you guys you're all here. I should have brought you with me.
We can flip it. I just took me a second.
Yeah, no. I just looked up and it was like, oh yeah, you guys are all still on the old map, on the other map. Remember, you could also go try to rip off Mad Dog. He's got
I was gonna say we could either definitely go to the island, try to find what's his name.
Yeah, Penbro's still on the island.
John's player.
Is this the island?
No, that is not the island.
Which one is the island?
Remember, the island was like about 5 miles. Let me give you an idea. This is 125 miles, so it's going to be tiny on this map. I'm not going to necessarily tell you where the island is because none of you actually took the time to figure out where you were after you guys did some stuff. That doesn't mean that Blimby or True doesn't know, because they might know because they were on the ship that put you up there. So
I remember, like from the beginning, we were like right around here before we crashed or something.
You guys came
because we came down from Port Hope and then up, or up from Port.
You came down here through the straits up, and somewhere in here is where you guys kind of lost.
I guess that's why I thought it was this.
So that is about a 50. Well, so I'll give you two.
This is much larger.
This is a huge island. But... I mean, think about it this way. This island, remember, the map you guys were just on is only about this much of this island. And that's this line, this map right here.
So if we don't go back and rip that off, then we definitely should tell the Navy about it.
Yeah,
so they could maybe set a trap there.
You could.
And maybe we get reward that way.
But I kind of want to rip him off.
I mean, you know the risk of it. You could potentially try to sell somewhere and gain some.
Yeah. But we definitely, either way, we're going to piss them off. We'll probably piss them off more by taking his stuff than telling the Navy's there.
I don't think
we can
that's
just
a
do an
matter
anonymous thing with the Navy. But
it's not a matter of quantity or of piss off. It's already it's a switch. It's either he's pissed off or he's not. I think we've achieved that. So I don't think we need to worry so much about the quantity of.
I think he's probably pretty pragmatic, but we'll find out. But hopefully we won't find out actually.
He keel-hauled one of our people for us just living there and you know.
Well, we did steal some of his food.
And you know,
I didn't say he was. We wanted to deal with him, just that.
So I mean, you got that. I'm kind of letting this one go because you guys are having a nice discussion about stuff. So I'm not in any hurry for you guys to stop having that discussion. Just letting you know that it's about 9:45.
But yeah, that's we kind of have to figure out.
Is there a place where we can like write down what we have as far as like, you know, who's doing what on the ship?
You can put it in Facebook.
I mean, somebody can write it down.
I can put it
on the party thing, like on the party sheet and features.
Well, I mean, you could. Well, there's cargo and crew in the ship, so like you can literally do add one crew, add, you know, and then you should be able to put a name in here. So, Captain. Captain.
I'll be
Rhux.
Captain.
How do I access the ship?
You should have.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If you see the ship, well, it should be in the people. There's a ships tab. Now the question is, did I give you guys permissions? Here, give me a second. Let me make sure.
Ships.
All players have owner of it.
Oh,
So
there it is.
now there should be a ships tab.
There it is.
With
Cool.
the things on it. So you can go under cargo and crew, and you can add cargo. You can add crew and cargo to that. You can have passengers. Technically, your ship could take as many as 10 or 15 passengers if you wanted to. Because you do have room in the cargo.
And that's another option.
You can become a passenger ship if you wanted to. That's just like the Maiden's Folly. You might have to do, like, it wouldn't be the best accommodations now because this ship is more oriented towards cargo than it is people, but you could reconfigure that once you have enough money if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think right now we just want to generate money however we can and then figure it out.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
I definitely think we should go to the larger city to recruit crew. That's the one thing Marcus is pretty.
Yeah.
And I don't even mind taking out the syndicate here, but I think that's definitely biting off a huge thing that unless Willoughby wants to stay here and run it again, we probably don't need to work with.
I am not in the mood to be here again, although wouldn't mind reopening. Yeah, it's not necessarily the place for me these days.
There's that. I haven't.
Regardless, we have 3 days. We're gonna have to make it through 3 days in this town, which means we're going to have to leave the inn at some point.
Nah.
Well, yes.
No, I'm intending to leave and go look around, maybe see what kind of supplies we can get.
Well, she's like, well, I mean, if things haven't changed too much, there is a general store. Gil, I can't remember his name. That's also the player or the GM who's saying that. It's run by Gabriel Blakaya or Blasaya. There we go. I believe it is. The lovely part about this is that she's like, it's right next door. The general store is right here. You guys have walked past it a couple times now.
Wow, we totally missed that one.
Yeah, I missed it. I totally missed it. I keep forgetting. I was thinking it was someplace else, but I forgot that I put it right next to the inn. You already know about the brewery. This right here is a glass blower. She mentions there's a glass blower. Maybe he might have something he wants to ship somewhere. There is a temple to Hinari or Hinari up here, which is the water goddess. But she mentions that when she was here, at least it was dedicated to the water goddess, but all diary gods were worshipped there and some had shrines in some fashion. Up here to the north, the very north part, this is actually the Downpour tavern that Bello keeps on wanting you guys to go to. Right next door to it is the blacksmith. Over here is a stables if you wanted to buy horses. This right down here is a tanner next to the warehousing district, probably because it smells so much. They put him down there. They forced him. You've been to the Thirsty Barnacle. Clearly, these are the docks. Market Square, where they typically do, it's an open air fish market and stuff like that. The baker is right here, which is why you were smelling the bread the previous night, Marcus. What else we got? Way down here towards the bottom of the map. If you go all the way down here, and I'll try to click on it to get people to show up or do that to you. This is the Cooper. This is the sawmill. And those are the main things she talks about. She says, Glinby's like, most of the big farms, like the sugar farms and stuff like that, they're owned by one of two wealthy families that are the major landowners around here. One is called Skurlocks. They tend to own most of the pasture land and the pineapple farms that we walked past when she's pointing at you, Marcus, when we walked past to get here the first time. And then the other one is the Bivens. She says the Skurlocks actually, I don't think they actually live anywhere around here. They might have a summer home here, but they live in Mirabel, from what I understand. The Blivens, however, they own most of the land to the north, and they have a manor to the north. It's a few miles outside of town. It's been 5 years, so I don't know what the lay of the land with some of that stuff is anymore, but it is what it is. That's the main things. I mean, there's a few other things around town that are, but it's mostly just farmers and workers for the docks and fishermen and that sort of stuff that live here. Oh, there is a fortune teller in town as well.
Maybe she wants some fortunes shipped.
The House of Cards, right here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think she ships anything.
Isn't that a Netflix TV show?
Yes, it is, but that's what I ended up calling it, is House of Cards. So the big things here are the Thirsty Barnacle, the Downpour, Tyrok's Brewery and Tavern, the Northrest. Those are all the main places you would probably be. The Garrison, and maybe the Temple for those of you who are interested in the gods. There is more than one general store. It's just the closest one is next to you. There's probably a few other things that I'll probably come up with that I didn't quite finish this map today. So, well, the map is finished. I didn't quite finish filling out all the stuff in it. That's the right way to put it. But yes, you'll be here for at least a few days. Yeah. You need to wait a couple days anyway to get your money. So.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if we're gonna have to deal with what's at the end of that. I'm gonna ask. I think we are. Oh. I am gonna ask about the tattoo when I can get Glenby alone at some point. Because the markings.
Well, that will have to be next time because.
Okay, that's
you're not gonna get her alone before the next day.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just So if I have to wait on that, I would try to wait on that.
All right. You guys should chat some more about what you want to do next. You'll be here for 3 days. That's not necessarily 3 sessions, but Hopefully it's not 3 sessions. It might be though. All depends.
I'm kind of down for going to the other city on this island, the bigger city on this island.
Yeah,
That's where we
definitely.
could start shipping some goods or something.
Yeah,
Kind of like
I think
the
right now
honest
we're talking
living.
about the next 3 days. What are we gonna do? I think it's in addition to all that.
yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, it's up to you guys. So let me give you a little more. So I brought you to the big map on purpose. So yes, Mirabel is the next biggest city. It's the biggest city on this island. You can always go back to Wensmar or Port Hope. Or Port Hope had the ironwood forest. Wensmar has a different reason for being there. I can't remember what it was. You can always head west too. Calastria, which is not technically there. It's actually on this island. I have finally finished these out. Calastria, there's islands that float above this. Calastria is interesting. It's a much larger city. It's also a Searly colony, though. So there's potential problems there for you, Iylis, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you can head all the way to the Dwarven spot of Emmerdal and things like that. Those are also possibilities. Emmerdal is known as a big trade location, and that's all the way over here. So I can people to.
Maybe we should just
as a trade location. So
find out where people want to ship their stuff to, or tell people we're heading to a particular location.
Yeah, we can go down that big city, see if there's anybody who wants to ship anything to like Emmerdal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
And we should probably smart pretty slow too. I mean,
remember from say here to Emmerdal is probably about 5 days of travel.
Yeah.
Coming backwards,
that's about right. Yeah,
is about 3 days. Again, against the wind, with the wind. That's basically what you're going with for there. It's something like that. I have to look at it. Although your merchant ship is a little bit slower than the Maiden's Folly was, so it might be a little bit. Check the.
Yeah,
we may stop at places along the way as well.
Yeah,
like your original trip from Caramergale to Emmerdal was supposed to take 10 days because she was stopping at Wensmar, Port Hope, Calastria, and finally Emmerdal. So that's the reason why it took so much time.
Is there a way to make our vessel faster? I know you can.
Yes, there is. But
and maybe
you can enchant your sails.
But not in this dry dock. This dry dock is not.
But that may be something we think
Zior
about.
is a traditional ship maker. He could probably
regular ships.
with enough. No, but with enough. Like there's a lot of timber around here. Clearly, you saw the jungle. So he can make ships. But the biggest ship that he really would be like, your ship barely fits into his dry dock. Like barely fits. Like there was some concern that the crow's nest was going to hit the top of his warehouse. But so he's more of the sloop variety, the sailing ship, the fisherman's vessels. That's the size of ship that he makes. It's just he's not this village doesn't have the need for a merchant ship. Like it doesn't make sense to build one here. Calastria, however, definitely a much bigger port, much bigger set of dry docks. Mirabel has a set of dry docks as well, but again, it's more. There's not. Most people don't build ships there because the biggest industry there is the bauxite mines. So they just don't care to build ships there. They'd rather just ship come in. There's the dry docks there are mostly for repairs and that sort of stuff, and then ship goes out, with cargo. Usually back towards Emmerdal because that's where iron ore is wanted, but not always. Like maybe sometimes other places. I have to remember exactly what I wrote inside of things, but there's Mirabel's there because of the mines in the mountains behind it. Calastria, Rhux would definitely know the following, which is there is Calastria is there is a floating island about 60,000 feet above it, like directly above it. And about 75 years ago, I want to say, a gnome explorer took a balloon up to it and discovered Erylium, or Ethereum, which is one of the minerals needed to make skyships. And so now there is a town called Tinkertown, otherwise known as Glitter Crag, on the bottom of the floating island directly above Calastria, that you can get to via hot air balloon. And Rhux would know this.
Speaking of which, on the flying ships, how
you could not sell your current ship and afford a flying ship.
Not even a small flying ship?
Nope. The smallest flying ship would cost you like 30,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. You could buy a small ship for like 10,000, but it would be like a hand glider kind of thing. It wouldn't be a ship that 7 of you could get on and do stuff with.
Okay. But that may be potentially what we want to look at.
You guys can totally be going towards a skyship. I'm expecting that at some point.
So. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have 3 days here. I would suggest next time you guys, at least 1 or 2 of you, try to find out what's going on locally.
Yeah, I would do. That's my thing. But like I said, my dice have turned against me hard, so I'll have to figure out how to get out and about.
But maybe there's something you guys can do for a couple days, while you're waiting for your money.
Is there anything to do in the wilderness, or I mean,
you're not sure?
You said that there aren't any.
There might be some rumors in town, but you don't know.
Okay.
No one's sat around long enough to really chat with the locals long enough to get any rumors. Like, you guys could talk to Bello and see if he knows anything.
All right.
Cool.
But next time, that's something you guys can chat about.
Cool, guys. Very cool.
And that ends this particular session.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Until next time.
All right.